Eventually a stream will probably pop up. There it is. Okay. Slow loading, slow loading, slow loading as per usual. I think everything's good. Just wait for some people to come on in. I'll just start getting stuff ready. Put this over here. See it. Rumble stream. I don't know why Rumble's so complicated. Go. Okay. Getting everything going. Okay. All the streams are good. Hello, Eliza. Hello, Zamikey. Hello, Madmo. How y'all doing? Hello, Madness. I got some news for everybody coming up. So you're gonna want to check this out. Hello, Isis Robel. Wait. Isis Robella. Isis Robello? Happy cold, everyone. Yes, exactly. Actually, it's quite warm here. Tomorrow's gonna be like 70, by the way. It's unbelievable. We never get 70-degree days in Oklahoma in February, so it's like, I'm taking it. We'll have like 3 days in a row. Hello, Golden. Hello, American. Woman. Didn't mean to say it's spaced apart, but it is what it is. Hello, In Times. How y'all doing? Alrighty. Yeah, we're gonna go over a bunch of just conspiracy stuff today. I figured we'd just have a chill, fun day, you know? Can't stay, but was obvious, he never passed. No, absolutely. Well, hey, before you leave then, Adrian, thank you for being here. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys now, I'll go ahead and I'll repeat it later in the stream several times. I am going to be on Paramount Tactical tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You know, all that good stuff. Shut the F up, you face. Okay. What set you off today there, Jacob? Doing okay? That's just came out swinging, didn't you? Let's see here. It was 8 here. Dang, 8 degrees? Oh, holy crap, man. That's cold. All our government does is lie, yeah, pretty much. We're going to be going over a lot of this stuff. So, yeah, it looks like Epstein actually genuinely may be alive, which is crazy. Oh, I have this up. This isn't something I'm covering. I just saw it. I was like, oh, yeah, guy from 3 Doors Down. Like, man, everybody's passing away as of late. Everybody that's, like, chill for the most part. It's kind of wild to see. Very unfortunate seeing decent people here who don't really make waves, like, you know, how would I say it? They don't make waves, like, dramatically make, you know, stupid waves. You see what I'm saying? This dude kind of, at least from what I understand, I don't remember Brad Arnold here coming out and going, oh, F ice or anything like that. You know what I mean? So just, you know, kind of people who have been chill, focusing on their craft. A lot of them are just, going. 47 years old. I mean, that's 14 years older than me. You know what I mean? Like, it's... That's sad to think about. Anyway, I didn't mean to make this, like, sad or anything. I happened to click on it. I forgot that was pulled up. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to be on Paramount Tactical tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. I guess that's 4 p.m. California time right now, or is it 5 p.m. California time right now? Because I know sometimes we're an hour behind them, sometimes we're 2. Or ahead, not behind. They're an hour or 2 behind. Depending on who does daylight savings time these days. Yeah, what the guy, when he just decided to go away? What's going on there, Jacob? Yes, I'd like to know what made you ticked off today. Hey, see. Hey, Keisha, hey, thank you. About 60 and sunny, that's same here. Yeah, I guess we're in the kind of same band of of a heat wave here. Let's see. North Georgia also? Oh, nice, nice. Already learned that his uncle Jeffrey is alive. Let's see if this leads him to the fact that he cannot trust anything the government says. Though, given his extremely low IQ, I doubt it. Wait, what? What do you think my IQ is, guy? What have I said that was wrong? I'm genuinely curious. Yeah, and I, obviously have absolutely no relation to Jeffrey Epstein whatsoever. I don't think Jeffrey Epstein is like Native American at all. So, and from what I understand, quite possibly or probably Jewish. I don't have any Jewish heritage whatsoever. So, there's that. At least that I know of. Maybe there's one stray somewhere in there that's keeping it all alive. Making me a secret agent or something, right? I don't know. Do people really believe that? You know what I mean? It's kind of funny. I would at least like more evidence, you know what I mean? For secret Jew agents. They sure do play in a lot of secret agent movies, don't they? Actually, do they? Is that a common trope for Jewish people too? Like, I mean, I know they pretty much have everything in Hollywood, but I don't see very many spy movies these days. Anything crazy like that. I don't know. Maybe they do still make them. I don't pay attention to those kind of movies very often. I like action films every now and then. I'm just more of a fantasy dude. Just is what it is. And also, not to mention horror films. Can't go wrong with that. This is already Semitism. Yeah, exactly. Semitism. I don't know. Call me a Semite, I guess, right? I mean, I'm not really with Shim as Madness would call it, per se. I mean, depending on what the real definition of that is, I genuinely don't care. You know what I mean? Like, good God, there's so many bad cultures out there, and yet we're fighting amongst all the good ones. It's kind of weird to me. The civilized ones, you know what I mean? Why are we fighting amongst the civilized? Oh, Ashley, thank you so much. Holy crap. 20 euros. That's like 22 American dollars or something like that, right? I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Actually, I kind of wonder, have we caught up to the euro yet? Have our economies crashed hard enough to where they're kind of similar? Let's see. Euro to dollar. Wow. It's $1.18 right now. Oh, it's not the lowest it's been though. What was the lowest it's been over the past year? Oh. Wait a minute. I guess I missed that. That can't be right. February of 2025, our dollars were almost equal. €1 was $1.03. Like, or not €1. It was €1 was $1.03. That's crazy. I had no idea we actually went down quite that low. Was that the lowest? Yeah, the lowest was $1.03 that it got to. We almost actually... Wait, we surpassed the euro in 2020. Oh, that was the lockdowns. Right. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm getting a little sidetracked. Wow, you all got down to 97 cents is what a euro was worth. I haven't seen I didn't remember that we had passed. That's crazy stuff. So, too bad. We're not number one again. Hey, it happens. But hey, I appreciate you nonetheless. We're out in Europe. Are you also in Denmark? With wait. Madness, you're not in Denmark, right? I get all you Holland countries all mixed up. Hollandese. All the Hollandese residents. Kind of like Japanese, but more of a Dutch. I can't think of a funny word that would go with samurai. Sorry, my comedy's quite limited. Hello, Jacob. Wait, I'm confused. Said hi. Okay, well. I don't know, I guess he cooled off. I don't know. Interesting here. All right, let's get into some Epstein stuff, right? That's what everyone came in here for. Holland are two provinces in the Netherlands, not Denmark. Wasn't Denmark I thought Denmark was a part of, wasn't it a part of Germany at one, before World War II? So I'm just like, kind of just thinking of the whole thing, the whole motherland, I guess you all would call it, right? Wait, no, that's Russia. That calls it the motherland. Whatever. Before the big breakup and whatnot. Wasn't Holland? I thought, not Holland. I thought Denmark was part of that. Am I wrong on that? I don't know. It's been a while since I've gone over World War II history. Let's see. What? I'm just gonna type in. Just Epstein's probably good enough, right? After this, I'm still kind of covered in grime for the most part. I got off work. I did a light shower, so I'm gonna have to go back in and just really make sure to do an extra scrub down and get myself a good picture for Gary there for Paramount Tactical. So I am gonna be on Paramount Tactical's show tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time, for those who just came on in. Let's see here. You said, Denmark is part of the EU. EU's government. Oh, well, yeah. No, for sure. For sure. I just didn't know if it was all a part of Germany before World War II or not. Hasidic Jews are real Jews who follow Torah and practice Judaism and deny the state of Israel because those are Satanists. Israel was founded by the Rothschild, and Epstein admitted representing them. I'm gonna have to go through a lot of stuff. I don't know. I've always heard the theory. So there was a dude. I'm not gonna name names. I learned about this whole theory a long time ago, from a guy that I used to work with at DuPont, and this dude's like, man, he's a crazy mad scientist type dude. Like this dude, just all he did was just spend all of his time on the internet and just would read. And read. Like out of nowhere, this dude would be like, "Hey, you ever heard of this stuff? Like C90 or what was it? Like C90 SEA90. Maybe I could find it like C90 or something like that. Yeah, C90 minerals. So it's like this, and he was like, I was just reading this thing about all this. This dirt not grows, but it washes in from the sea, right up to Panama, and this dirt for some reason will add insane nutrients to your fruits and vegetables, but for some reason, bugs won't go near it. Something to do with, like, the salt content or something. It's just a little too high for bugs to be, like, near your plants. So, apparently this stuff, this C90, you can, without having to add any chemicals or anything, you can just use it, complete, total, chemical-free way to keep bugs off your food. So it's, like, super holistic and stuff. And it just comes right out of the seawater. Like, no man-made anything that touches this stuff. And he's like, you need to get you some of this stuff. I was just reading stuff online and came across this. This was, like, back in 2014 or something like that. I can't believe I remembered this. Literally back in 2014. Yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, you can pay, like, $20 for that or something. I don't know how good it is. This is a dude that recommended it to me. And I was like, hey, like, this is just, like, all natural. But I'll look into it. But I'm not going to push it off on you guys or anything like that. It's like macro trace element support, improves soil fertility, productivity, includes organic humate. It's just like, apparently it's all 100% natural. So yeah, I don't know. Just something interesting. This guy was crazy. But long story short, he went down the whole rabbit hole. He was reading everything, and he was like, oh yeah, all the Jews in Israel are, like this satanic cult or something that's pretending to be Jewish. And a lot of people in Israel, well, not all the Jews, it's like all the top ones or something, top Jew, I guess you could say. Who gets crowned top Jew? I'm curious. One with the biggest nose, or no, I'm not going to be mean. I have no idea how it works, right? So, assuming it's even real, because I don't know that that's where it's coming from. It could be another cover-up. You know what I mean? From another sect that's all, who knows how many times that they've, how would I put it? Like, how many walls they put between them and reality, of what's actually going on. Israel could be another front for them, Maybe there's a few people that are actually at the top in Israel pulling the strings and that are, infiltrated, and maybe 99% of the Israelis don't know it. Or maybe it's just a lie. I don't know. But he went through it all, and he would talk about it a lot, and I was just like, at the time, I didn't care. I didn't like politics. I didn't like hearing about politics. I was like, only interested in talking music. And this is what's crazy, is this old man, he was like, oh yeah, my niece is in one of them there awesome bands. And I was like, what band? And he was like, oh, that folk metal stuff you listen to. He's like, I don't really, he's like, I don't care for it too much, but, and I was like, oh, really, what band? He's like, oh, Eluveitie. And I'm like, nah, no, you don't. And he was like, oh, yeah, here she is, and showed me that it was Anna from, she's not in the band anymore, but she was, like, the main person in Eluveitie for, like, the first, like, I don't know, 20 years of it. And I was blown away. I was like, this person lives in, like, freaking Sweden or Ireland or something. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, you know, we see her every now and then, family reunions, we all get together. Just showed me pictures of him with her, just a family reunion of his, and I was like, oh, that's actually crazy. So I'd want to talk to him about that a lot, but he would always go on to the conspiracy theories, drove me nuts. Nowadays, I'd probably sit down and talk with him about that stuff. You know what I mean? International doctors shared this information. Okay, well, look, here's the thing, right? Let's say that international doctors have been sharing that information and whatnot, right? International doctors of what origin, specifically? Usually, whenever they're saying that, they're actually coming out of Palestine. And here's the problem with that. You guys have got to disconnect yourselves from the Palestine-Israel stuff. Because both sides are going to lie. They are in a war. No matter what happens, both sides are going to claim the absolute most pure optics. That's how it goes in war. People really need to start disconnecting themselves from this badly, because we're not getting the whole truth on both sides. But here's the problem that I always end up seeing. I hear Palestine making these complaints, but I'm seeing online, going back decades, of Hamas actually just slaughtering people in the streets of their own people. So one has to wonder, when Israel is not slaughtering their own people, but Hamas is slaughtering their own people, which side is probably more likely to be telling the truth? Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know anything going on in Israel, because I don't. I'm not there. Reports on the ground coming out of Israel are positive. Reports on the ground coming out of Palestine are negative. Reports out of Palestine, vice versa, negative there, positive for, all that. It just is what it is. So you have to kind of go with, what do we have rock solid proof of? Well, I know we have rock solid proof of Hamas doing really awful things, How many international peaceful activists and journalists has Israel killed? Even in the West Bank, where there is no Hamas and never has been a war. What do you mean? I thought over in the West Bank there is Hamas, isn't there? I mean, like I said, I don't know that much about Israel, but why would they just kill, so they're killing people in the West Bank that are not Palestinian whatsoever, they're just Israeli? Let me see about that. Is Hamas in the West Bank? I'm just going to see if they are. My next question will be if they're killing, why Israel would be killing people there. We'll see. I'm not going to deny your claim without proof. But yes, Hamas maintains an operational presence in the West Bank, including militant activists, support networks, and its military wing. What else can I say about that? I'll just pull this on over here. We can read it all together. The Is al-Din al-Qassam Brigades. Okay, well, I can read brigades pretty well, and I just butchered the pronunciation of that. Good job, me. Though it does not control the territory like it does in Gaza. The Palestinian Authority, led by rival faction Fatah, and Israeli forces have worked to suppress Hamas there since 2007. Okay. When the group was ousted from government positions in the West Bank following its takeover of Gaza. However, reports indicate a rise in Hamas-linked violence and influences like Jenin and Nablus? I don't know. Man, I wish everything was in English. We should just Englishify the whole world. Could be a good idea, right? No one's ever tried that before. Anyway, with the groups involved on Israeli targets and attempts to expand its foothold in escalating tensions. Popular support for Hamas also persists among some Palestinians in the West Bank, fueled by resentment toward the Palestinian Authority and Israeli police. So what, is the West Bank like a bunch of Palestinians that kind of go to side with Israel? Is that kind of what's happening there? What is the West Bank for? What's the difference between the West Bank and the main part of Palestine, really? That's kind of what I would like to learn more about. I should. Let's see. Hamas is a branch of Mossad. Okay. Is there any evidence that Hamas is a branch of Mossad? I think we're arguing on two different points. You're arguing from the point of theory. And like I said, I'm not necessarily saying your theory's wrong. What I'm saying is there's no evidence to present to back the claims you're making. I understand where you're coming from, but I can't just willy-nilly go out of my way and be like, oh yeah, I believe this conspiracy theory. Anybody can make a claim about anything. And I can't just automatically disprove a claim if there's no evidence one way or the other. What I can go with is what we do have evidence for, okay? Maybe Hamas is a part of Mossad, right? But what I do know is that Hamas literally is slaughtering people in Palestine, and Hamas is the one launching attacks on Israel. How do I get proof that Hamas is Mossad, though? See, and that's what I need. If somebody can give me proof, why would I deny it? You know what I mean? But I can't just willy-nilly just believe it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't, it can't work that way. I treat everything on this channel exactly the same way that a courtroom should essentially run in the United States. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. Just the way I try to run things here. So until somebody can genuinely... Wait, you presented evidence in the same post. Read it till the end. Learn how satellite surveillance and seismic radar system work. Okay, well, I don't know what that has to do with anything. I'll go back to your post. System with seismic radar system. Under that conditions, Hamas would never be able to operate unless it's run by Israel. Wait, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Just because we have satellite surveillance systems and seismic radar, somehow they aren't able to operate? Why? Last time I checked, we don't just blast only Hamas people or something like that. Like, a lot of times Hamas is with civilians, and they dress like civilians. We don't just use radar and go, here's all the Hamas people in the crowd. Okay, I don't understand how that could work. Did he admit to funding? Oh, let's see. Did BB and Yahoo, I think that's how you spell it, right? Fund Hamas in 2019. All right, well, let's just see. Let's see. Well, it's saying this up here that there's not evidence found, but it's just generating. Don't ignore that. Let's see. No, Benjamin Netanyahu did not directly fund Hamas in 2019. However, his government approved and facilitated the transfer of Qatari funds to Hamas in Gaza that year as part of a strategy to bolster the group and maintain division between Hamas and Fatah-led Palestinian Authority, thereby thwarting the establishment of a unified Palestinian state. This policy involved monthly infusions of cash, often in suitcases from Qatar, amounted from tens of millions of dollars, which helped sustain Hamas's control over Gaza. In March 2019, Netanyahu explicitly told, okay, I can't pronounce his name, so that's, I don't want to be mean, because that sounds gross. Party members? Anyway, anyone who wants to thwart the establishment of a Palestinian state has to support bolstering Hamas and transferring money to Hamas. This is part of our strategy to isolate the Palestinians in Gaza from the Palestinians in the West Bank. Why do they even want to do that? Netanyahu has denied that Israel strategically propped up Hamas, instead claiming the transfers were approved for humanitarian purposes to prevent a collapse in Gaza. Okay, so how do we know which one's which? Did they try funding the people of Palestine or Hamas? It went to Hamas, but that's because any type of aid and food and supplies go to Hamas. Look at what Greta Thunberg was trying to bring into Palestine, right? And Hamas would take it, ration it, and then make it scarce for their own people to keep people joining Hamas. Well, you know, we'll give you a little extra food if you join the cause. I don't think that's, I mean, which one do you believe? It comes down to, as per usual, whose story are you just going to inherently believe? See what I mean? It's not proof. It comes down to belief yet again. So I'm going to have to go with which country is killing their own people. And, well, Hamas is killing their own people. You see what I'm saying? So, anyway. Move that way. Satellite surveillance system combined with seismic radar system allows Israel to monitor and detect any movement in the ground and under the ground 24/7 basis. Still not getting it? Yeah, I'm not getting it because, again, these people wear civilian clothes and walk with civilians. Maybe they could find the ones underground. Actually, LiDAR doesn't penetrate that deep underground, if you're talking about LiDAR. Seismic radar. How far does seismic radar penetrate underground? I think LiDAR only goes like a few feet. Let's see. This is ridiculous. Gaza, it's a tiny area. Okay. Why are you not understanding this? Hamas wears civilian clothes. How do you know which person is Hamas and which person is a civilian? Can you just answer that question? Like, this is the third time I've said this now, and you haven't acknowledged that at all, man. Like, you can't just keep ignoring that. Like, how do you know which one's Hamas and which one isn't? Okay, ground penetrating radar, which I believe is what you mean by seismic radar. Oh, okay, likely a typo for seismic radar, so that's not quite the right thing. Through seismic methods, use sound waves rather than radar, has a penetration depth that varies widely based on factors like soil type, moisture content, antenna frequency, target. Yes, we get it. In ideal conditions, such as dry sand, soils are highly resistant materials like ice, granite, low frequency antenna. 100 megahertz can reach down to about 30 to 100 meters or more. However, in conductive environments like wet clay, salty soils, or minerals with high electrical conductivity, penetration is often limited to just 1 to 3 meters or less. So I don't know. Let's see. How far can it penetrate in Palestine? Let's look that up. Maybe it can go that far. Maybe it can't go that far. We'll find out. Civilian clothes do not matter. How do they carry weapons? Rockets. Oh my god, dude. You think they carry them with them at all times? Probably not, when they're trying to blend in and lay low. I don't know. They could probably carry them metal suitcases? You know, things that radar can't really go through very easily. I'm sure they've probably got a few of those somewhere around. They could wheel them around. I don't think it's that complicated. It's not like we have, like, just all the technology in the world to be able to monitor every single last thing to do. Maybe we do. I don't know. Like, you're going to have to show me that this stuff is being used. Like, here we go. So, let's see. GPR mid-range frequencies typically advances. So, they can see 1 to 2.5 meters for clear imaging. Limestone-rich areas, the Judea Hills. Let's see. What other... 1, 2 meters. Let's see. Frequencies of 900 megahertz can penetrate around 1 meter for shallow applications. Okay. They can go down to about 15 meters. Yeah, let's see. In Gaza's sandy saline coastal soils, say that 5 times fast, penetration is often reduced due to higher conductivity and groundwater proximity. Aquifer at 20 to 50 meters depth, limiting effective depth to 3 to 10 meters. You can't really see down that far, unfortunately. Maybe, okay, so this one requires a borehole. Oh, okay, well, if you're looking at, GPR struggles beyond 15 meters. So it's not looking good, you know? So if you meant seismic methods using acoustic waves, penetration is far greater. Shallow surveys reach about 10 to 100 meters, while deep reflection profiling, oil or gas. Okay, so this is like for oil and gas and stuff, though. I don't think this is capable of, like, detecting human beings. You know what I mean? This is, like, unbelievably blasting sound. You know, going down underneath the dirt. You're probably thinking more of LiDAR. Like, light that they have to use to be able to find this stuff. You're done, you're just dumb. Okay, I'm dumb and you can't prove anything. You're right. Don't think. Just go ahead and turn your brain off, buddy. Let's see. Open the freaking map of Gaza on Google Earth. It's a tiny area. Learn how Mossad operates. Okay. I'm sure you know how they operate. Were you a soldier? Like, come on, dude. Don't pretend to know stuff you don't know. Because I know you don't know how Mossad operates. I absolutely know for a fact you don't. You weren't a part of Mossad. They're not just... what? Can you point me... Do me a favor. Point me in the direction, and I'll pull it open right now, where all these Mossad details you're talking about have been completely leaked by Mossad. I would like to see that stuff. Can we get that going? Like, just any proof. You can't just tell me they're using a technology that they're not using, by the way, because ground-penetrating radar isn't even on satellites. I'm pretty sure they're not. Is this technology in our orbit? We'll just say that. We'll just do that, you know. Let's see. We'll see how many satellites we may have with specifically ground-penetrating radar, because I'm pretty sure we don't have that. I'm pretty sure it's just LiDAR. GPR has been used in orbit, lunar orbit, like Apollo 17. Oh, maybe. Maybe then. I'm not familiar with ground-penetrating radar being that high up. I'm pretty sure it has to be on the ground. Because I don't see how we would be sending, like, you know, sound waves from space. Typically doesn't work too very well. And found ex-Nazis among millions of people kidnapped and brought to Israel. Okay. Can you, like, tell me where I can find that? Like, you're not being helpful at all. I'm asking you to provide evidence, and you're just like, here you go. And so far, everything you've told me, too, yeah, no, ground-penetrating radar, seismic radar technology is not deployed in Earth's orbit. So, like, most of the stuff you end up telling me is really genuinely not true, and then you call me dumb. I have to believe that Israel Mossad would allow anti-Israel terror. Bro, how many times do you have to tell? Like, I don't believe, okay? Like, this is insane. Try to listen to my words. I don't go off of belief. If somebody makes a claim, they have to prove the claim. Okay? The problem is you believe. That's you. You're doing that. You believe without evidence. I don't need to do that until you show me evidence. Learn to Google. That's such a retarded statement. Seriously. I'm going to give you a chance since you're being such a dick. Okay? And I've been very patient with you. I've been incredibly nice, and you're just being a dick. So you have one chance to provide me some evidence, or I'm just going to ban you. Maybe before you start being a dick, you'll learn how to cool off and talk like an adult. Or I'm just going to get rid of you, man. Like, seriously. Lavon Affair, can do. Lavon Affair. All right, let's look up this Lavon Affair. All right. Was a failed Israeli covert operation codenamed Operation Susanna, conducted in Egypt in the summer of 1954 as a part of a false flag operation. A group of Egyptian Jews were recruited by Israeli military intelligence to plant bombs inside Egyptian, American, British-owned civilian targets, cinemas, libraries, and American educational centers. The bombs were timed to detonate several hours after closing time. The attacks were to be blamed on the Muslim Brotherhood, Egyptian communists, unspecified malcontents, or local nationalists, with the aim of creating a climate of sufficient violence and instability to induce the British government to retain its occupying troops in Egypt, the Suez Canal zone. The operation caused no casualties among the population, but resulted in the deaths of 4 operatives. The overseer of the operation allegedly informed the Egyptians, after which 11 suspected operatives were arrested. 2 died by suicide after being captured, 2 were executed by the Egyptian authorities, 2 of them were acquitted at trial, and the remaining 5 received prison terms ranging from 7 years to life in prison. Wow, so you're telling me they didn't get away with it and they were all punished? Okay. And this was in 1954? Like, that was 70... How many years? 75 years ago? Like, for real? Hold on. Let me just do, that would be 72 years ago. So, literally, I'm sure those people are still in office. Like, it was a failed operation and they got caught. And then they got punished. I don't care. Okay. You know, Russia used to do this stuff too. Hey, did you know that Germany once did this to Russia? Okay. Does Germany still do that now? Is Germany going to also cause another false flag? They're going to tie up whoever's leader to a dead guy to a tree and invade another country? King David hotel bombing. See how Israelis disguise themselves as Arabs to orchestrate? Okay, I'm sure they have. Guess what? When 9/11 happened, Israelis literally dressed themselves up as Americans. Or Israelis, whoever, Middle Easterns, dressed themselves up as Americans. God, why couldn't I not think of that? Anyway. And apparently got on 2 planes and bombed. Well, whatever. I mean, same thing, right? Just flew right into the towers. Like, people wear disguises when they're in different countries. Yeah. You know how many times America's done it? I'm sure Canada's done it at least once, probably. And Canada sucks. Nah, Canada's okay. Well, I mean, right now, Canada sucks. Hopefully, Canada gets better one day. So, you know, I don't know. He's a secret expert, of course. Yeah, seems like it. Secret expert. But anyway, so what was the other one before I get into this Epstein stuff? Because I'd really like to stay on topic here at some point. Let's see. If Israel wanted to, they could take over the entire Middle East in a few weeks. Yeah, I mean, they could. They have the weaponry. Don't know why they don't do it. They're pretty evil. King George bombing, or King David hotel bombing. King David hotel bomb. Okay, we'll just use Wikipedia. Why not? The British administrative headquarters for Mandatory Palestine housed in southern wing of the King David Hotel in Jerusalem. Okay, housed in southern wing. Let's see. Were bombed in a terrorist attack on July 22nd, 1946. You're fucking kidding me with this. Can we get something a little bit more modern? 1946, okay. By the militant right wing, Zionist underground organization Irgun during the Jewish insurgency. 91 people of various nationalities were killed, including Arabs, Britons, and Jews. 46 were injured. The hotel was the site of the central offices of the British Mandatory Authorities of Palestine, principally the Secretariat of the Government of Palestine and the headquarters of the British Armed Forces in Palestine and Transjordan. Great. So, what would it be? Julia now? When planned, the attack had the approval of who? Okay. Okay. My mouse could stop moving. The Haganah was the main Zionist paramilitary organization that operated for the Yishuv in the British Mandate for Palestine. It was founded in the 1920s to defend the Yishuv's presence in the region and was formally disbanded in 1948 when it became the core force integrated into the Israeli defense. Can I read more? Okay. Cool. I'm glad we have an entire history lesson over this. I'm just reading when it became, okay, so it was disbanded in 1948 when it became the core force integrated into the Israeli Defense Forces shortly after Israeli Declaration of Independence. Okay. So, anyway. So the main motive of the bombing was to destroy documents incriminating the Jewish agency in attacks against the British, which were obtained during the Operation Agatha, a series of raids by Mandate authorities. It was the deadliest attack directed at the British during the Mandate era, 1920-1948. Okay, what did the British do about it? Did they do anything about this at all? What the heck? What's going on my stream here? Weird. That crashed. Is one of my favorites. Can't wait to see. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm excited to get there too. Yeah, guys, for everyone who's new and just popped into the stream here, not new, but, you know, just popped into the stream, I'm going to be on Paramount Tactical tomorrow at 7 Central Time. 7 p.m. So, going to be a good time. Gonna be a very good time. I'm really excited to talk to the guy and meet him and just have hopefully some good laughs. Hopefully I won't be too awkward on there or anything. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, was there anything else said? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now I've looked him up. I've looked this up. Okay, here we go. Disguised as an Arab workman and hotel waitress, members of the, all this good stuff here. British military headquarters resulted in an explosion, caused the collapse of the western southern wing of the hotel. Okay, so was it worth bringing up, like, World War, II era situations in Israel at all? So this here, 1946, would have been like 90, let me see if I'm right. No, it would have been like 85 years ago, right? 1946 would have been 80 years ago. I'm sure these people are all the same people in office. I'm sure, this is still going on today, right? Why can we find anything a little more recent? We have 1954 and 1946. Could we maybe get, like, I don't know, 1999? Anything weird happening with Israel in 1999? At least within my lifetime, maybe. I'm 33 years old. Otherwise, what you're saying is countries can never change. Period. Ever. I mean, seems like Germany's doing decent nowadays, right? Kind of. I mean, they were. Now they're going completely crazy, of course. But, I don't know. Do you think Germany is still the exact same Germany from World War II? Just out of curiosity? What about the French? Remember how the French used to pretty much rule almost all the world? They got pretty close. Think the French are still like that? I think the French has given their country away. Completely different country now. They used to take other countries. Now they're just giving away their own country. Same with the UK. UK almost had a entire dominant global, just control. China too. Japan? They had quite the dynasty. I don't know. None of them are like that anymore. I'm not going to judge Israel based on what they were doing in the 40s and 50s. You know what I mean? If we could see some stuff in modern day, that would help a lot, Let's see here. He said, I'll watch later when I can skip the BS. Hey, absolutely. So anyway, Jewish space lasers? I should look up Jewish space lasers. Why not? Those are fun. That'd be really funny to see, like, Jewish people getting into a fight, like, over the thing. Okay. So, let's see. You said learn to Google, look up Lavon affair. Then you said, okay, now you can ban me, which is very much on the table. And then instead of answering any of my questions, you said pretty much, go ahead and look at my other tweet. Okay, so you're not going to answer now? Is that it? Are we done? Read my last post. All right. I'm going to just take a wild guess that you have nothing beyond the 50s, right? Is that, like, is that a yes or no? Because I'm going to start pulling up Epstein stuff. Because I think that's going to be a lot more interesting. Because everything we went through and typed in here, we found out was actually a lie about, like, the ground penetrating radar and all their stuff. You said that Hamas was not in the West Bank, and it turns out they are. So there is that. You tried saying that Hamas is Mossad, but couldn't provide me any evidence of that whatsoever. You showed me some problematic things that Israel has done in the 50s and the 40s. Okay. So this is just your last opportunity. I'll wait, King David Hotel was the fight against British colonial rule. That's added context. That makes a lot of sense, Hey, Michael, could you do me a big favor and, like, name one video that has mentioned, like, that I have created any content about Israel whatsoever? Like, genuinely, anything about Israel that I've made, other than talking about whenever they were starting to bomb Iran and Iran was starting to shoot missiles at them. Because that's just covering, like, current events. But what do you mean? Like, what have I created that was anything involving Zionism or anything like that? Just curious. Because I haven't done that. YouTube censored your last post. Oh, okay. It opposes Christianity to be a Zionist, and I thought you said you were converting to Christianity. I don't think I read anywhere in the Bible that mentioned becoming a Zionist is bad per se, so I don't know what you're talking about on that. Your channel is over the last 6 months is all Z favored content. That's retarded. No, it's not. It's literally the same thing I said in this video. Until people can just provide me rock solid evidence against Israel, I'm not going to stand against Israel, per se. But I'm also, in every single video I preface, I focus on America first. Every time. Not Israel first. America first. I don't know why this is hard. So, yeah. Says about your channel over the last 6 months? Okay, all right. Let's do that. Oh, I gotta save this. This is cool AI. Little background things for videos. Okay, is Artie Trolls a Zionist content creation channel? Let's go ahead and see. I'll see what AI says. Let's see. I'm curious if I'm some Zionist, pro-Zionist channel here. Let's see. I'm just very, very curious. It will tell you that it is. Okay. Oh, yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. You know? I'm batting like 5-0 on AI right now. Maybe this will be the one I lose. Maybe I'm super duper like pro-Jew. You know? I bet it says that I care a lot about what Israel does as a country. Oh, yeah. I could put the channel link right into the AI. Why not? I'm sure it knows who I am. I'm sure.
Thus came the golden goddess.
That's a Legend of Zelda video. I got on an expert too, so it's going to definitely make sure. Like, you know, it's going to really go through all of it. But if it needs me to, I'll go ahead and copy the link just in case. This will be the last thing I'm doing. Based on analysis of Artie Troll's X-Profile and recent posts, Artie Trolls is a content creation channel with an associated YouTube presence, promoting subscriptions, focused on conservative commentary, memes, and online drama, often involving figures like Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, and Daily Wire. The content frequently criticizes anti-Israel or pro-Hamas perspectives, highlights hypocrisy and selective outrage over Gaza, while ignoring other global atrocities, Uyghur Muslim camps in China, or Balochistan in Pakistan, and mocks the conspiracy theories blaming Israel for various issues. For instance, posts explicitly condemn Hamas for actions like throwing gay people off roofs and express skepticism toward claims that Zionists or Israel are behind nefarious plots. While not exclusively dedicated to Zionist themes, the overall stance aligns with pro-Israel Zionist views, particularly in defending against anti-Zionist narratives from figures like Owens or Hassan Piker. So let me see. What pro-Israel or pro-Zionist stances does Artie Trolls specifically take? Stanced. I wanted stances. It wants to capitalize that and capitalize that. Okay. Go. Let's go ahead and see. The fact that who's getting offended? Wait, who? Wait, who are you talking to? Who's getting defensive? Let's see. This AI isn't telling Artie what he thought it would say. It told me exactly what I thought it said. I haven't made any pro-Israel videos, period. Like, literally, when somebody says Hamas is Mossad, I ask for proof. That's not pro-Israel. That's, can you prove to me what you're claiming? How is that? Like, to say that that's pro-Israel is retarded. Let's see. Based on analysis of Artie Troll's ex-post. Okay, why do you keep going to that? Okay, I condemn Hamas and its practices. Explicitly calls Hamas for atrocities and demands others do the same. Wait, when have I demanded others? I've never demanded anybody do shit. The hell are you talking about? I haven't demanded one damn person to do a damn thing here. Anyway, demands others do the same, portraying support for them as indefensible. Well, yeah, I mean, it's indefensible to really do that, but I don't tell people or demand that they do shit. That's retarded. In a January 13th, 2026 thread, replying to a user defending equivocating on the issue, say Hamas is bad, artard, and you're defending Hamas. They literally throw gays off roofs. Tell me you don't support the last chance. Oh, link that. That's not how it did it. Why did it take this literally and break it up? That's dumb. Okay, January 13th, 2026. I'm going to pull that tweet up. That's so irritating when it does shit like that. Let's see. Can I not search by date? I'll have to copy this. Say Hamas is bad. Read. There we go. No. Wrong. This tweet. This thing. Don't want to exit out of that. Didn't expect this. Dumb people don't. Wait, what? I said say Hamas is bad. Why is it not pulling it up? Did I even say this? Okay, how about just this? How about I just type in Hamas? Gotta love that. Okay, clear all. No. It's gonna mess it up. I gotta re-click this. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Back. Okay. There we go. All right. I noticed most of these pro-Hamas guys like Dave Smith never had... Okay, that's it? That's all I've said? No, that can't be right. No, I have to... What? What is this crap? Okay, whatever. Okay. All right, what is Hamas? So, what was it specifically that it said? This is literally the last thing, and I'm getting to the stuff. Let's see. Say Hamas is bad, retard. Okay. Say Hamas is bad. Oh, okay. Here we go. Oh, so it wasn't... Okay. I thought this was all the same tweet. Okay. Never mind. I thought it broke it all up. No, okay. So this is just one thing. Just say Hamas is bad, retard. Okay. And this is in this. So this is me literally clowning on this person. She goes, rest in PISS because of Dilbert guy. And I was like, you support terrorism. I don't support is not real, saying that about Israel. It's clearly real. You can point at it on a map. And then I said, say Hamas is bad, retard. The Polish Netanyahu IDF is bad. And I said, also, good job defending Nazism. They hate the Polish and the Jews, too. Like, literally. So she's sitting here. She called him Polish for some reason. I tried looking into this. I didn't see anything about him being Polish. You lost this one on the AI, right? No. Are you high? Are you literally high? Like, I'm making fun of this person for literally saying that they support Hamas. Literally, like, I'll show you. Hamas. What? Did they delete it? Okay, let's see if they even have the Palestine one up. Let's see what they say about it. Okay. All right. What the hell happened? Okay, hold on. Well, did they delete all of their posts about Israel maybe? All right, cool. That's awesome. So they just left the Free Palestine banner up, but then they deleted everything involving Israel, Palestine, and everything. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Anyway, so that I can't even go through. So I said this, why not condemn Hamas? Now, I got a question, though. How are you associating Hamas with being pro-Israel? Just out of curiosity, man. It's like debating college kids that have purple hair. They don't actually know anything. I mean, asking you to back any of your claims and stuff. You haven't done any of that. You accuse me of being pro-Israel just simply because of the fact that I don't like a terrorist organization? Kind of wild. All right. Well, this was fun and a waste of my time. So anyway, let's go this. In February 2nd, 2026, reply about brainwashed left using kids as human shields. If they are using their kids as human shields, they're legit gone. Nothing left inside their heads and no soul. This appears to be a reference in Hassa. It's adding a lot of different tweets together, and I can't remember the context of every single one of the tweets that I've posted. So these are, let's see. Nothing left inside their heads and no soul. Yeah. I don't disagree with any of that, what I've said. So there is that. Let's see. Defend the government-funded red heifer programs in Israel. Who did that? Let's see. Censorship online. Okay, can we get off the censorship thing and like actually go into the what we're talking about here? Let's see. In a January 2021-2026 reply to Myron Games, criticizing Netanyahu IDF. All right. Why is Hamas bombing babies? Why do you never mention the largest open-air prison in the world controlled by Pakistan? Balochistan is the name of the country. Yeah. Why not? Why do we only care about Israel? I'm kind of curious because let's say Israel's committing a genocide. By population, Israel could not be committing a genocide any bigger, period, ever than what's going on in Balochistan. Or the Uyghur Muslim concentration camps, you know. It's kind of weird. Or what's going on in the Congo and all that stuff. So it's kind of dumb that people don't care about that and somehow they care about Israel only. So yeah. All right, we're still talking about the red heifer programs. Okay. Why? I guess we're off the subject now that we see that I'm not some pro-Zionist channel. Makes sense. All right. Mocking anti-Zionist conspiracy theories. Yeah. I mean, you know, if they don't have proof, it's a conspiracy theory. I don't care. In February 2nd, 2026, a reply to Fox News Post. Okay, gotcha. Now, are there any YouTube videos made by arty trolls that are pro-Zionist? All right. This will be the last question I ask, and then I am absolutely moving forward. Now I'm pulling up Epstein. Okay. And there we go. Okay. Epstein. I'm pretty sure Elon was a little beggy to get on that. Well, it never called me a Z channel, so there is that. It just said that I've literally been against Hamas, and that was the only examples it ever gave. And in every single example, it mentioned Hamas. So you're dead wrong. You're going to have to do a little better than that, man. So if I'm not pro-Hamas, I am definitely. Are you deaf, dude? You're actually just talking to yourself at this point, Michael. That's crazy. So let me get this straight. I just want you to go ahead and say it. So being anti-Hamas is pro-Z, right? Okay, so you can't read. That was on X. So that's why I typed in the YouTube. Are you here on the stream right now, man? Yes, based on an analysis of Artie Troll's YouTube channel, which has over 700 videos focused on conservative commentary, memes, and online drama, there are multiple videos that exhibit pro-Zionist stances. What are they going to be? These typically manifest through criticism of anti-Zionist figures like Candace Owens. So if I criticize Candace Owens, I'm apparently a pro-Zionist. Even though the only thing I've talked about with Candace is just the Charlie Kirk incident. But okay. And I've said it's ridiculous to blame Zionists in general with no proof. That's pro-Zionist, I guess. Defense of pro-Israeli individuals like Ben Shapiro and Dave Rubin. What are you talking about? On my channel, I say all the time that I am not a Ben Shapiro fan. I don't have problems with Dave Rubin. I don't watch Dave Rubin. So there's that. So that's kind of weird. But I have literally talked about Dave Rubin and how he introduced Candace to Kanye. I guess that means that I'm defending Dave Rubin now. Okay. Rejection of anti-Semitic or anti-Zionist tropes and mockery of claims involving Israeli involvement in conspiracies. The channel doesn't appear to have videos exclusively dedicated to promoting Zionism, but the stances emerge in context of broader feuds, often tied to Owens' narratives. So literally trying to connect Israel to Charlie Kirk and saying there's no evidence of that makes me pro-Zionist. Let's get that right, okay? Dave Rubin bought kids so that he and his gay lover could pretend to be parents. Okay. Have I defended that? No. Never. Okay, very much not Christian. Okay. So what can I do about that? It's not illegal what he did. I can advocate for laws to say, hey, I don't think people should be able to purchase children. But he didn't break any laws. What else can I do? The Quartering has done videos over it, and I agreed with those videos. Like, years ago. That's been settled and done and reported on. My stances haven't changed. So there's that. Now, examples of videos with pro-Zionist content that were identified from the channel and searches that direct... Okay, so here we go. We can look at all this. And we can see what I've said. In general, Candace Owens blames Israel for the Charlie Kirk assassination. Okay. And in this video, all I do is ask for proof. I just said I support Dave Rubin? What? Okay. What? I don't have problems with Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin did not break the law. I do not like that he adopted or bought 2 children with his gay lover. I was pretty clear about that. I don't like it, but what else can I do? It was reported on, and it's done. What? Am I supposed to report on it once a week? As if it's news? This is a news channel. Okay. Man, I'm going to give you more... I'm going to give you some chances here, man, to kind of straighten up, but you are absolutely losing yourself on this, and it's embarrassing at this point. So this one where I literally talk about Candace Owens blaming literally Israel for Charlie's death.
Hey, everybody, so let's get...
That's not pro-Israel, right? This, Candace Owens goes nuclear, bombshell. Okay, Candace Owens talking about Charlie Kirk again. Dave Rubin exposes Candace Owens. Oh, who are we talking about? Charlie Kirk. Candace Owens claims Kirk plotted to Charlie Kirk's end. So just because, I want to get this straight, every pro-Z channel, every pro... It's very lefty tactic to use. Okay, look, I don't give a shit, man. I really don't care. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you because you're lying to me. And you're insulting me the entire fucking time. Telling me that I am pro-Israel and that I am pro-Zionist simply because I'm not anti-Israel and anti-Zionist. That is such a retarded statement. Okay? I'm not pro-France, but you don't see me coming out as anti-France either, right? Like, do you see how stupid that is? I'm not pro-Germany, and also not anti-Germany. Like, what? Because I have to hate Israel in order to not be a Zionist. That's what you're saying. I want to get that clear. Okay? I want to get that very, very clear. We went through all the videos. Everything that's pro-Zionist involves Candace literally tying Israel to Charlie. So because I don't think Israel put a bullet in Charlie, I must be a Zionist. Like, I don't understand it. Okay? And then you say learn to make an argument whenever I ask you yet again, for the 5th damn time, just because I'm not anti-Israel, does that make me pro-Israel? I can't just literally be like focusing on America first and being like, Israel does their business, we do our business. Like, I can't have that stance. I can't literally, like, do you know how SJW it sounds? For you to come out and be like, you have to be anti-Israel or else you're pro-Israel. You're either with us or against us. Good job, comrade. Glad you took the very communist stance on it. It's so ridiculous. Learn how to make an argument, Michael. If I'm not with you, I'm against you. That's the whole thing. You know? The AI didn't agree with you. The AI literally linked every single video that ties Israel to Charlie's assassination, where I talk about how Israel has no evidence against them that they assassinated Charlie. So, All right. You're gone. Don't come back, Michael. I'm done with you. I put up with you for years, dude. I can ask you a direct question and you'll never answer it directly because you know you're wrong. I'm just done. I'm absolutely done with that bullshit. I don't deal with that ever. Okay, I give chances, but I don't deal with bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, for real, man. You have made such stupid arguments for so damn long, and I've been tolerant of it for a long time. And today it ends. I've asked you many times, so because I literally do not support, or like, not do not support, because I literally do not, like, have an anti-Israel stance, you accuse me of being pro-Israel. The AI didn't agree with you at all either. Not even close. Pulled up the whole AI, and in context, it does not say I'm pro-Israel. I'm not anti-Israel. That's the difference. Doesn't make me pro-Israel. I don't know enough about Israel to be pro-Israel. As a matter of fact, I'm an American. I'm going to put my country first at all times, just like every country should. No matter what country they are. I don't care if it's like freaking China. Chinese people, go ahead, put your country first. I don't expect Chinese people to put my country first. That'd be ridiculous. I don't expect Israel to put America first either. Israel should probably be Israeli first. Makes sense. But, I mean, completely, totally ridiculous, man. You're sitting here insulting me. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't know what else they thought was going to happen. I'm moving on to this Epstein stuff. I'm done talking about this crap. Because it's simple. You find me any evidence that is that Israel's in the wrong, I'm going to report on it. I just reported on 2 things that took place in the 40s and the 50s where Israel was wrong. So I asked for more recent stuff. Closer to, 100 years in the future. Israel apparently was going against British rule or something like that. I have no idea. I'll look more into that later. Maybe Israel was completely and totally wrong in the 50s and the 40s. Great. You know who else was wrong back then too? Germany. It's crazy how things change with time. Like, I'm pretty sure Jews aren't afraid to go into Germany right now. Well, they might be now. But I bet 10 years ago they weren't. I bet over the last 50 years, Jews weren't afraid to go to, well, not 50, but over the last 30 years, Jews were not afraid to go into Germany. Kind of crazy how times change. Nowadays, maybe a little dangerous with the with the Durka people, but, things change. Think I'd go to France right now? Absolutely not. I think I would probably rather go somewhere in the Middle East. And I think I'd feel safer there. Probably in some other, like, I don't know, Qatar, I'd probably be safer than France. You know what I mean? I think I'd be less likely to be jihaded in Qatar than France. That's a scary thought. Probably Syria as well. I'd probably be less likely to, actually, I don't know, get jihaded in Syria, compared to France. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going out of the country ever. I don't want to. I don't need to. I don't have to get out of this country. This country's massive. People don't realize that. Like, Europeans are all like, oh, you're so stagnant. You don't go to different countries. I'm like, every country you go to is still in Europe. Every single freaking European country you're going to. That's where all these Europeans travel. They just travel to different countries in Europe, and they smell their own farts. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, and they're like, oh, we're so culturally diverse. And I'm like, no, you're just in Europe. That's the way it is for America. They don't understand that. Each state is like a different country, just the same way that like each country in Europe is like a different state. It's no different, except our states are bigger, way bigger. You could go across Oklahoma and find a completely different, and totally different culture. Just driving across Oklahoma. Can't really do that in the UK very easily. You know what I mean? So, it's just one of those things. They don't understand how big the United States is. And they always think that we have inflated egos, but then it's like you put a map of Europe over the United States, and they're like, oh. And that doesn't even count Alaska, But yeah, I'm done with that. I'm done arguing, with people in these days. I'm just going to stop that. I don't need to even argue with these people. Oh, you're pro-Zionist. I think I know what I am. I think I know what I am a hell of a lot better than anybody. Period. Yeah, they have Chinatown and okay. Well, wait, isn't it Little Vietnam Town? Was it Chinatown? Because I thought it was Vietnam. over there in OKC. At least where I went, it was Vietnam. Nice little Vietnamese places. Ate some good food. Don't know if it was, don't know what kind of meat. I probably don't want to know. Well, you know, we can keep those. Anyway, I represent the Rothschilds. The Epstein's biggest, the Epstein files, the biggest. I don't want to use Mario Newfall, actually. He got some serious stuff wrong and hasn't even redacted it. Like, I could still go to his page right here and type in, like, teacher. I guarantee you he has not taken this away. Yeah, right here. Look at this. Look at this, still up. Look at that, still up. I had to completely do a whole new video over this. Like, this guy still has this. This was not a teacher at his school. Isn't that crazy? It's insane. So, you know, just one of those situations. This guy's not reliable at all. Wait, does he have a Palestinian flag too? What the heck was that? Oh, wait. Is that a Mexico flag? Oh, flag of Iran. Why is it not here? Why is it here? Oh, duh, you just used the emoji. Thought it was a pro-Palestine flag here. I was just like, oh, since when? I thought he was pro-Israel. Isn't he? Mario Newfall, he's pro-Israel, isn't he? Epstein defends Trump to Larry Summers in 2017 emails. Okay. In 2017 emails, Epstein told Larry Summers that he still viewed Trump as better than Hillary, praising the handling of India and Israel as great in all his doing. Summers pushed back hard, calling Epstein nuts on India. Okay. Why are they arguing about Trump? They're just arguing about Trump policies? Okay. That's really stupid. I bet the left uses that against him. You know. More recent stuff from 1994 is on your platform that you're on. I posted. Okay. In notifications, I don't know how many arguments are there. Okay. Let's see here. Under what account name? Because I'll pull it up to the side. I'll go back to it like maybe later on in the stream. Okay, I don't think I got a tweet. I don't think I got a tweet from you. Oh, I didn't see Gary's tweet there. Surrender. That's pretty good. Let's hold on. Okay. All right. Oh, why did I click that? No. I don't need to click that. I need to stay on here. So anyway, I want to get to, wait a minute. I know what I want to get to. Actually, I know what I wanted to search. Epstein alive. That's what I want to go to. Sorry. So late in the stream, guys. Didn't mean to drag y'all down through this. But I did want to get over some stuff here. I just wanted to get the record straight, you know. You said George. Okay. George Betterson. I'll just type that in and leave it up here. Okay. Wait, are you talking about the tennis player? Okay. We'll have to look more into that. Anyway. Israel faked. This is, by the way, this is all Photoshop. Just letting you guys know. Or not Photoshop. This is all AI. This is not anything involving Epstein whatsoever. You could tell because the traffic lights are completely wrong. They haven't zoomed in. Of course they did. Israel faked his death. Yeah, this was just a bad picture. They should start getting community noted here for this picture. I'll try to show the full picture of that, but more pictures of Epstein coming out in Israel now. This is not a real photo either. Everybody's face is blurred. Like, none of this makes sense whatsoever where they're looking at. It's a really bad photo. Why is there so many AI photos in this file dump? What's kind of weird is how these people are fused in together. How it can't decide which arm, whether it's this guy's arm going this way or this guy's arm going that way. You know what I mean? It's quite a bad picture. This guy, what is he putting up to his mouth? Is that his fist or is that a chicken stick? Unlabeled beers, of course. There's a beer right here. You can't really clearly see anybody's faces, but he is the clearest of them all. Crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of AI pictures of Epstein. It's really weird. But let's find the zoomed out photo. This is the best looking photo so far. Let's see. Wait, is that his hand or a mirror on the car? Nope, the mirror's right here. Why is the mirror right here? That's supposed to be the back end of this car. It's like a car mirror right there. And this is either his hand or something on the car door, so that's not great. Scaffolding, I can't tell if it's around that tree or not, but that looks funny to me. It looks like it kind of blends into the tree there and bends, so that's off. You know, I wouldn't stand on that for any reason. There's all these weird marks on the building that I think are supposed to be tree branches. That kind of gives away a little bit more, too, that this is fake. So, just tiny things. I can't prove that this one's fake is nearly as easy. Okay. Who's taking these pictures like this? I need to see this, because you'll see with the stoplights that this is totally fake. Okay, let's see. Now, this right here is a convincing photo. I've seen this one. This right here looks like it's legit. Nothing about this looks fake to me at all. Absolutely nothing about this. It's all squared away. Shadows are correct. The sun beating right here on his face would be correct. You could see it right here in the shadow reflected. You could see the shadow right there on his foot perfectly with the squareness of the square roundedness there. You can see a little bit of shadow creep up there while there's still shadow here. I mean, it makes perfect sense with the direction. You can see the sunlight directly above where it would be. Yeah. Everything about this photo looks pretty dang genuine. So that kind of leans me into he's possibly alive. So everything being correct here. No impressions, no missing limbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, and then obviously would be tucked under here. I mean, everything looks correct. The shadow placement and everything on the nose, reflecting off the sunlight and the chin, very correct. Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. The holes are right here where they should be on the truck. You don't have a mysterious hole over here or anything. See leaves underneath there where they would have fallen. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty convincing photo, I gotta say. Not Epstein and Epstein. I don't know what this photo's referencing, so that doesn't help. Oh, there's some stuff here. Oh, this is like the coroner. Oh, I see, I see. He's got a very... Yeah, he's got more of a normal nose here, and this guy has a very hooked nose. I got you. Yeah. Now, I can't see the ear. They highlighted it, but that doesn't help me see the actual outline. I don't know if that's not going to work. Unfortunately, I can't even see the ear whatsoever. The nose is great, though. The nose is very, very good in convincing. So it could be a body double. Very much so. Footage from the island a few days after his death. I don't need to hear that copyright music. So they got a drone. How did they get the hold of this? Whose drone is this? Oh, okay. So this is a screenshot from that. Oh, this is very convincing. Okay. Ooh, I don't know, though. This is much further away than I thought. How do they not hear this drone? This must be, like, all the way zoomed in, if I had to guess, right? He's looking up at the drone now. That's why he looks up. Maybe? No, nope. I guess not. Dang, that's a bummer. I thought this would be a little clearer than that. So, it could be him. That's not as great as I thought. That's a bummer. You zoom in there. I mean, it looks like it matches, but there's somebody's mouse for some reason right here. It's dumb. Like, I don't know. It could be him. It could be. And this guy here, that looks a lot like Epstein, though. But it's not him dead. Looks like he's on a machine. Looks like they're still pumping some life into him here. I don't know. Then there's this picture, where he's clearly not dead. Okay. Gotcha. Remember those heroes who snuck into the island? Oh, wait. I don't remember this. I saw another video.
Epstein's house?
Did.
Epstein's house right there? Oh, wait. You're in fucking Epstein's backyard. What are those coming from?
Are those little kid chairs? Like, what the fuck are they?
Oh, hell
I don't know if that's going to be copyrighted or not, by the way. That's loud, though, but it's just noise. Yeah, I saw that they painted out over that temple. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't even know if the security guards... I wonder what the security guards would have done. I kind of wish he would have tried to have, like, interviewed one of them on the shore. And if they tried to, like, grab him or anything, you could have dived into the water. But I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it could have been really windy. Possibility. But yeah, anyway. I need to watch that, probably. Now, yeah, here they are again. Here we go. Okay, so check this out. This is how you know this is an absolutely, like, just very, very, very fake photo. First of all, look at how this dude is, like, holding his hands. Yeah, most people, that's like the Beavis and Butthead walk. Not even kidding. And, you can see how clear Epstein is here and everyone else is, like, all blurry. Plates don't make sense. They're blurred out. Green light at the top, red light at the top. Red light at the top of this one. Why is this light green? Why is this green light at the bottom? Does this red light come up at the bottom and this one go green at the bottom? You know how confusing that would be in traffic? Kind of weird, isn't it? Just a little odd how these lights don't match up at all, so that can't be right. Unless some moron put the lights on upside down, they just never caught it. Crazy. I don't know that this is how you would say any, like, spell any of this. I don't read Hebrew. So, you know, Arabic, Hebrew, whatever you want to call it. Whatever language they're using. Spanish. Can't read no Spanish here. So, you know, if somebody's in chat can read whatever says, does it say the same thing? You know, could be fake, could maybe not be. Maybe they got their words correct. Why does this look like it's Russian right here? Why is it that every time AI puts language on there, they always try to put, like, Russian? That does not look like anywhere near the same language as this. This looks completely different. You know what I mean? So, there's that. This is just an AI photo completely, though. Like, they're not... This is also the star right here. Apparently is the symbol of the AI that they used. Oh, what AI uses a star for its watermark? Meta in Google. Oh, it's Meta. It's Meta AI that made this. See? So, this is the star. This is their watermark on it. Right here. Right here in the bottom right corner. That's kind of how you can tell it's AI whenever it literally tells you it's AI in the bottom. All right. Instead of saying Grok, it has the Meta star. So, I didn't actually even need to prove that this was fake. It's just actually just AI generated right here. It says so. So, you know, there's that. So, unfortunately, these are not real photos. Epstein is 100% alive, and here's how they did it. Holy ass. Okay, so here we go. In August 16th, 2019, the FBI interviewed memo unsealed in the January 30th, 2026 batch and buried in investigative notes. Jail staff at MCC detail how they handled Epstein's body removal after his end to dodge the swarm of media camped outside. They constructed a fake corpse using boxes and sheets to mimic a human form, draped it, and loaded it into a white van and clearly marked office of the chief medical examiner. Why wouldn't they just put a dummy under it? You know? Like, why construct a fake corpse? Why not just, I don't know, get a dummy, drape it over? Oh, that's the Gemini logo? Oh. Wait a minute. Really? Oh, wait a minute. Google also uses a star sparkle icon. Wait. Do they both use the same freaking star? So Meta uses a four-pronged star, often accompanied by the Imagine with AI, to represent the connection between human imagination and AI technology. Google also uses the star sparkle icon. Why'd they copy each other? What the heck? Why? Okay. That's weird. Is Grok the only one that used, like, literally, its own thing? Isn't that crazy? Make images in Gemini all the time. Yeah, absolutely. I wonder why they, you know, didn't decide to do something a little different. Like, Meta could just use the M. Instead, they're using a star too. That's so weird. Anyway, okay. Reporters and cameras dutifully chased that decoy van as it rolled out. Meanwhile, Epstein's actual body was quietly transferred to a black vehicle, unmarked, no labels mentioned, that slipped away completely unnoticed. No photos, no pursuit, no public record of its route or arrival at the morgue autopsy site. The memo dryly notes that this was a deliberate misdirection tactic by corrections officers to draw attention away from the large news media presence. I mean, it's crazy. Okay. This is definitely someone claiming it. But is it real? I actually kind of believe that it is. I really do. If this Epstein guy is this powerful, I just don't see him ending himself in a jail cell. You know what I mean? I mean, where was the guy even buried at? Was there even a funeral for him? Was there even a burial? Like, what did they do with him? Like, this isn't the same thing as asking Candace Owens, by the way, either. Because, like, Candace Owens wants to know exactly where Charlie is. At least we know for sure there was a funeral, and at least we have an explanation of, like, yeah, we buried him. But what did we ever do with Jeffrey Epstein? Does anybody even know? Did they ever announce what they did? Like, let me ask Rock here. What is the official claim on Epstein's body? Did they bury him? Did they cremate him? What happened? I'm really curious. Oh, man. Kanye East is Candace's new rap. Oh, God. Lil Yeasty. That'd be so funny. Kanye now has his new Lil Yeasty coming on with him. That'd be such a funny stage name. Some guy at my wife's work, by the way, makes beef jerky, and I've already almost eaten all of it. Like, it's crazy. I need to fix up my smoker and smoke up some jerky. But I can't help myself. This is like candy. Let's see, okay. Multiple sources indicate that Epstein was cremated, with his ashes then placed in an unmarked crypt. Described in some accounts, next to those of his parents at the I.J. Morris Star of David Cemetery in Palm Beach County, Florida. Oh, okay, so he was absolutely Jewish. All right. The parents' names were reportedly removed from their adjacent markers to prevent vandalism. The site handles both burials and cremations. There are no conflicting official claims from authorities on the disposition of the... Okay, well, who claimed this? Like, it didn't say his brother. It just said, like, his body was claimed from the medical examiner's office by his brother. Maybe this will dig in. We'll see. According to reports, Jeffrey Epstein's body was initially claimed by an unidentified associate following his autopsy. But this was later revealed to be his brother, Mark Epstein. Okay, no. Who claimed he was cremated? Like, very simple, Grok. Can you work with me here? I don't want to know, like, who claimed his body. Let's see, was it his brother? Because I don't remember learning anything about how he actually, The report said Epstein was cremated originate from several news outlets, which cited sources close to the matter or his family. According to the Palm Beach Post, his brother Mark Epstein collected the remains, yeah, we got that, and arranged for them to be cremated. But it doesn't say that he said they were going to be cremated. It just says, okay, wait, with the ashes placed at the crypt, okay. Okay, but they noted that his remains were discreetly transported and placed in the unmarked crypt next to his parents. And quoted Mark Epstein as declining to comment on the specifics. Huh. There's no public official statement from authorities like New York City Medical Examiner confirming the cremation, as disposition of remains is typically a private family matter handled after the release of a body. So we really don't know. We really just don't know. Okay. There's more information on it than I thought there was going to be. I thought that nobody had said anything about it, but that would be a silly loose end to keep. Like, just getting one of his family members to come out and be like, oh, yeah, we buried him is the least they could have done. So, yeah, it makes sense. Thieves hit Israeli bobsleds team apartment before Olympics debut. Well, that sucks. Hope they get their bobsled back. Anyway, activist protests. Okay. Portland mayor's home over ICE facility permit. That's hilarious. Good stuff. This 4chan post was made before Epstein's death, was public knowledge. Jeffrey Epstein is alive. Is this? August 10th, 2019. That date can't be screwed around with, right? I don't know. I'm going to assume that maybe they're telling the truth, but we'll see. Not saying anything after this. Please do not try to dox me. But last night after 4:15 in the morning count, they took him medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Okay, but that would depend if they needed to triage him. So that's not unusual. All right. Anyway, let's see here. We do not need releases on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Okay, yeah. Next thing we know, he's put in a single-man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing. The trip van did not sign in, and he was on suicide watch. He wouldn't have had anything to where he could have actually hung himself with, by the way. We know that. We know that he didn't do that to himself, so, you know. And a black guy in a green dress, military... wait. And a guy in a green dress military outfit. Why did he have to say it like that? Like, guy in a, like, military uniform. Why didn't he say that? Was in the back of the van, according to Tower Guy. Let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. Maybe. Could have. It's a 4chan post. Can't put a lot of stock in a 4chan post. You know, you just never know. Oh, here we go. Finally. Finally. There is actually some context to this photo. At least. This is a little wild. Let's see. Fortnite clarifies that Jeffrey Epstein is not alive after rumors spread that his Fortnite account purchased V-Bucks. Official Fortnite here. This was a ruse by a Fortnite player. A few days ago, an existing Fortnite account owner changed their username from something totally unrelated to Littlest Jeff 1. Okay, but following the revelation of Littlest Jeff 1 as a name on YouTube? Okay, these Fortnite trackers only display your current name, not any prior changes to it. We have no record of the subject's email address referenced in the public document. Did we find out or not? Why'd they post this picture? What? Cool. Did you have to post this, like, next to it? Like, Kalshi culture. This is, like, literally, yeah, 73,000 followers. Did you need to clickbait it with a Jeffrey picture next to it? That's a little silly. Oh, well. This is supposedly Epstein after his... Honestly, he was so important to the military and Trump that he would have been more heavily guarded than Fort Knox. I genuinely believe he's still alive. Okay. What is this? I can't really tell. Man, if I can tell you this, though. If the feet color is accurate, he is not alive. Because that's exactly what happens. Your blood's going to drain down. It's not going to come back up. It's not circulating anymore. So you get paler towards the top and darker towards the bottom. Yeah, that looks like a real death photo. But I don't know if this is or isn't. I don't know if it's him or not. Who knows? He's missing a lot of wrinkles. He's missing a whole lot of wrinkles compared to... But they could just be really, really, really bad. Really low resolution. Let's see. What else we got here? You know, it's weird because there's not a whole lot of evidence that he's alive at all, but I kind of believe it, you know what I mean? 4chan is more trustworthy than Reddit, though. Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Have any of the DOs talked? To be honest, not sure. Everyone is getting the username wrong. It's not Littlest Jeff 1. It's Little Saint Jeff 1, as in Little St. James Island. Yeah, it could be. I don't know if he's got an account or not on Fortnite. The dude's a 70-year-old man, so I genuinely doubt it. I really doubt he would have an account, because, I mean, what could he do there, really? Like, he would probably be hiring people to groom on Fortnite. I doubt he's on it himself. Could you imagine just hearing the most grovelly old man in his 70s? You know what I mean? Like he's going to convince anybody. Everyone's going to tell him, shut up, old man, no matter who he is. You know how many, I play PUBG a lot. I'll be playing PUBG with my buddy Casper tonight. And, yeah, we're going to hear a bunch of kids in there literally be like, shut up, old man, stuff like that. Constantly. So, and we're 33. Like that's not going to happen to him? I just doubt it. Like, I really doubt he's getting in there and sniping people. You know what I mean? He's no-scoping. You know what I mean? He's 360 no-scoping kids. 70 years old. Wouldn't that be crazy to find out that he's like the greatest Fortnite player ever? Like he smokes ninja? Wouldn't that be wild? Oh, look at footage of James Cameron playing with the fake double for Sigourney Weaver on the movie set. It's seriously creepy and weird. I have seen that, though. I've seen a lot of, like, what do I call them? Just, like, doubles of people. Like the Hagrid one. Have you seen the Hagrid one? It's crazy. Like, they made a giant robot that looks exactly like Robbie Coltrane and his Hagrid character. So whenever they have to, like, portray his size next to someone, kids could go up there and give that thing a hug. And it would be, they'd come up to his kneecaps. But then whenever they're filming him by, in scenes where nobody else is near him, they just use Robbie Coltrane. Well, 67 play video games, for sure. But you 360 no-scoping people in Fortnite? I don't know. For some reason, I don't think... I'm not saying old people don't play video games. It's just... It's Jeffrey Epstein doing that. You know what I mean? And Fortnite of all games. I don't know why. I feel like most of the older generation does not play Fortnite. Just like most of them don't play Roblox. Some play Minecraft. Very few, though. Those, they're just like, I don't know, little kid games, Mario Kart, I would definitely say, like, I play Mario Kart. You see me play Mario Kart on Toxigaming. So, there's that. And, oh, wait, have we played Mario Kart on Toxigaming yet? We're doing Mario 64 right now. We're doing Mario parties. Surely we've done Mario Kart by now, though. That's like the greatest, one of my personal favorite Mario games of all time. Let's see here. They're telling me Epstein is still alive, and turned out that he is Satoshi Nakamoto. Isn't that the owner of, is that the owner of, of 4chan right now? Or the Sun? You know what I mean? Is that the case? Like, how do they find that out? Isn't that the case, right? Satoshi is... Oh, did they dox him? I don't know. Isn't that literally the owner? We will never know, but we do know this. Well, yeah. 0 arrested. That's to be expected, I think, at this point. Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay. Wait, what's this? Hi, Bine. Gishlane, the Satoshi pseudonym is working perfectly. Our little digital gold mine is ready for the world. What is this? What? Is this... Could also mean this is legit? Is this AI, or... Did this get pulled? I'm gonna have to look into that. What is this connection to this? Do you guys know? Wait, he created Ethereum? A lot of people were trying to say he committed it, created Bitcoin, but we obviously know who created Bitcoin. Which, is kind of interesting. It's, Virgin dude. What's his name? And he, does a lot of his stuff is all about the Virgin Islands. Like, he's got Virgin flights, Virgin tickets, he owns, part of T-Mobile or something like that, too. Had a cell phone company that was, I think he merged into T-Mobile, right? Something like that. Grok, explain what's this. Okay. This seems like a meme blending Epstein's death with conspiracies with Bitcoin lore. Recent Epstein files revealed his 2014 investment in Blockstream and claims of talking to Bitcoin founders. But fact checks find no direct Satoshi link. Officially, Epstein died in 2019, and Satoshi's identity is unknown. Huh. Okay. Maybe it is just a meme. We'll have to see. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Did they ruin TV? No idea. Medal of... Oh, yeah, man. Imagine imagine having Medal of Honor. You know? Virgil Griffith? Oh, Richard Branson. That's the one. Bronson. Branson or Bronson? Bronson. Okay. Gotcha. Roblox for grooming. Also, yeah. No, Roblox is bad. Has that gone anywhere? Like, is that just dead in the water now? Is that one dude still, going off on, Roblox? Who was that guy's name? Let's see. This dude's talking about it. Is Epstein still alive? Stop dancing. Obviously, Epstein didn't end himself. Obviously, he's alive because everything you know is... Okay. I don't know. Alberno. Totally normal that they never found the noose that Epstein... Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Did they not find it?
And that he ripped. Thomas told investigators he discovered Epstein in his cells shortly after 6:30 a.m. on August 10th, and that he ripped Epstein down from the hanging position.
Ripped him down? He didn't, how did his head not pop off? Well, come on. Okay.
Investigators asked, what happened to the noose? What happened to the noose? Have you heard any of this before? What happened to the noose? Quote, I don't recall taking the noose off. I really don't. I don't recall taking the thing from around his neck. Noelle, who remained standing at the cell entrance, told investigators she saw Thomas lower Epstein to the floor, but did not see a noose around his neck. The noose Epstein allegedly used has never been identified.
Okay.
According to the Inspector General's report, a noose collected at the scene was later determined not to be the noose used in Epstein's death.
How'd they get a second noose? Like, that's what I want to know. Where'd that other one come from? Would they just make one? Did they import one? I want to know the story about that second noose. That's hilarious. They just got a second noose there and like, here you go. And investigators are like, yeah, try again. Not that one. What?
Okay.
That's wild.
All right. First, you had us believe that it was a paper noose.
Yeah.
Now you're saying the paper noose that was found was not the noose that killed him. In fact, you can't find the noose, the paper noose. And this one was later added to the scene. By whom? By whom?
Oh, you posted the Ethereum proof? Is it in it? Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to look through the Ethereum. Let's see here. Blacked out the name. Okay. Virgil Griffith earned his PhD in computation in neural systems from Caltech. Attending from 2007 to 2014, known as the hacker and Ethereum developer, he created Wikiscanner. During his studies, his research focused on complex systems, including work on integrated information. Okay. Vigil Griffith leaves prison. Okay. Epstein has an idea for the next gen Bitcoin alternative currency without the seediness on an intro. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So they partnered up and created it together. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'd say cryptocurrencies are probably pretty evil then. Sounds like that they sounds like that's exactly the direction they want us to go in, is cashless society, you know, using Ethereum and Bitcoin. That is crazy. I'm really glad I never got into the hype of it. Probably could have made a lot of money early on, though. There were a lot of people at Google I should have listened to when the Bitcoin was literally only $25 a Bitcoin. And I was like, I ain't paying $25 for a stupid online coin. Well, could see who the fool was there, huh? I had the opportunity and I had the funds and the means to probably buy like 1,000 Bitcoins. Y'all realize that? I could have probably, if I would have known it was going to do what it was going to do, I would have taken out a loan and I would have put it all in Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin hit like $70,000 a Bitcoin, I would have just cashed out. What is it at now? Did Bitcoin crash again? What is Bitcoin at? It's either at 150,000 or it's like at 50,000. What is it at? It's okay. February 2026. It's $65,000 to $70,000 range. Live charts. Let's go to the live charts real quick. I'm just kind of curious. I'm gonna pull this sucker over here. Okay. I don't care about that. Can I go back a month? Let's go all time. Okay. Here we go. So this would have been let's see how much. This would have been in 2014, I believe, when I was told. It was September of 2014, right? No. September 2013. Right? Friday, February 7th, 20... Oh, is it created in 2014? Okay, then it would have been September of 2014. So it would have been about... Okay, so it wasn't quite there. It wasn't at, let's see, right here. September 12th is the next update? Okay. Whatever. It would have been about $400 a Bitcoin. Still, at the time, I should have taken out a loan. Bought just like 1,000 Bitcoin. Could have taken out like a $40,000 loan. Buy a bunch of Bitcoin. Look where I would have been if I would have sold right at this top peak right up here when it hit $116,000. You know what I mean? Wait, $126,000. Dang. Imagine holding on to there until cashing out. You know, you buy $40,000 worth of Bitcoin here in September. Just imagine. Wait. Dang, it went down a lot. But wait, what the heck? Why is it saying 60,000 right here? Dang, it went down a lot in September that next year. I should have bought in 2015. Wow. I really should have bought Bitcoin back then. Oh, well, it's probably good I didn't. Never fall into that. Never get into clip gambling. Just don't. It's not worth it. It's bad. Let's see. K-Shades in debate biblically. Wait, what's that? Epstein stole technique for human cloning. Ugh, I don't think it should be stolen. I think it should be probably buried. You know what I mean? Should not have that technology. It's not going to bring any good. I like Glenn. I'm inclined to trust him. Is this Glenn right here?
By whom? By whom? By whom?
Oh, this is Glenn Beck. Duh. What am I thinking?
Thomas also described Epstein as shirtless when they found him. Evidence records indicate a shirt believed to have been cut from Epstein's body was later returned from the hospital in a bag of personal stuff.
Oh, okay.
New documents also show that New York City's Office of the Chief Medical Examiner reviewed the jail surveillance footage 6 days after the death as part of his investigation, but concluded the video was too blurry to identify any individuals. Hours later, the office publicly ruled Epstein's death a suicide. Wait, you don't have the murder or suicide weapon. The weapon that you do have, the noose, is not the noose that killed him. No explanation on how that arrived later at the scene. You have a blurry figure. I don't care that you can't identify. You have.
I gotta say, though, like, yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's pretty obvious he's alive. I really do. Until there's proof of death, I'm not gonna trust that he's dead. But also, I really like this guy's watch. Oh, wait, you guys can't see this. Okay, here we go. I'll just put myself there. But man, does an old, like, why does leather like this? I just don't like the leather bands because it looks quite girly, in my opinion. I don't know. You guys with me on that? Maybe it's just me. I've always wanted to get a nice watch. Maybe one of these days I will. I've always wanted to get a pocket watch, though. Just something like that because it would just be so cool. I need to maybe work on something like that. That would be cool one day. I don't know. But I don't know. If I ever did get a watch, when I see this, it's just like, man, that looks feminine to me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm classless. Okay. I just kind of wanted to point that out.
The
nice
blurry
watch,
figure
like
going up in the middle of the night, and you can't identify that individual.
Yeah.
But it's a blurry figure going.
I don't even need to hear more. Yeah, for sure. Like, this is just crazy. You know, all more and more evidence comes out. More and more evidence comes out. And then, yeah. Or check out Lauren the Mortician video on Epstein. Okay. What? Is it on YouTube?
And where people...
Oh, good. It's just gonna, for some reason, instead of going here. Okay, here we go. Lauren the Mortician Epstein photo. Okay, there we go. Okay. 1 month ago. Is it the month ago one or the this one? Let's see. The body don't lie, people do. Oh. Photo doesn't make sense. That was a month ago. Is that whenever this got... Okay, I'll pull up 2.
Hi, is it just me or does every household have the plague right now?
Now, this is Lauren the Mortician. For anybody interested in her, please go subscribe. Definitely do that. Seems like she's going to do some pretty good work here. Has a decently metal background. Very similar to mine. Woo. Got my Camp Crystal Lake sign with my guitars. So I dig the vibes. All the way down.
We're all sick. And also, if you notice, my eyeball is swollen. I had microblading done on my eyebrows, so they're a little dark. They'll fade. Don't worry, they'll fade. But it was overdue, and I have no idea why. But this eye, can you see that? Is so swollen. I had
yeah, it's called you literally introduced something microbial into your into your capillaries there, and it traveled downward. I would get that taken care of. That's scary. Like, you know, people get infections and die from stuff like that all the time. Stop doing crazy stuff that you have to expose your blood to.
threading done, and I'd never had that done before. I don't know. Has anyone else's eyeball swollen up after microblading? Please let me know. Anyways, anywho, without further ado, my hair is wild. I don't have any makeup on, but we're gonna nail this. When something goes viral involving death, my brain does something very specific. I don't jump to conclusions. I don't jump to theories. I start asking one question. Does the body make sense? And then I gotta look at it because I'm a mortician and I work with the dead. I see what the human body does after life leaves it. How fast things change. What relaxes. What drains. What dries out. And what never looks the way people expect it to. So when a photo starts circulating online, especially one being framed as a dead body, I don't look at the headlines. I don't look at the comments. I mean,
Did she do videos on Charlie Kirk too? I'll have to take a look at that.
do a little bit, but
What was her conclusion? Did she say the body was fake or that it was real? Because in my opinion, Charlie's body looked very, very real there. So I don't know.
look at the physiology. And that's exactly what happened when this image of Jeffrey Epstein started making the rounds. There's been a lot of renewed attention on the Epstein case lately. Documents, files, rediscussions, people relitigating everything that's already been talked about to death. No pun intended. I'm not here to re-explain who Jeffrey Epstein was. If you're watching this, you already probably know. And if you don't, that's not the point of today either. What is the point is this photo. This image has been shared by major media outlets, picked up by TikTok, on some crazy conversation threads over on X, and dropped into the conversation as if it represents death. And people started tagging me. I love when they do that.
Okay, we're gonna fast forward just a little bit here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Why is this one? What is this? Oh, this is her intro. So people just clicked it for some reason. Okay. Let's go to the
Makes the photo weirder to me. Pull the photo up again. I get tagged in this, and y'all want to know, does this look like a dead body to you? And that's when I realized why this photo is so effective. And
the other photo was very, very, very white and awful looking. Where did this one come from? That's crazy.
Honestly dangerous because it sits right in that uncomfortable middle space. Close enough to death to confuse people, or at least it's cosplaying death, but not close enough to actually be real. So instead of reacting emotionally, I did what I always do. I stripped everything else away and I asked one question, which if you ever see something like this again, I hope that this video comes to mind because you should be thinking, what is the body telling me? So when I saw this, the very first thing I noticed wasn't the weird looking
I agree, K-Shay, for sure. Yeah, don't let people poke holes in you.
Table he's lying on. It wasn't his body positioning. It was actually the mouth area. His mouth. This is one of those things that families are always...
Yeah, all the blood drains from there usually first. Very, very thick area. Lots of blood flow. Lots of blood flow to maintain. Tip of the nose, too. Gotta have some blood flow going through there, you know. Just your outer extremities. Like, they'll drain super duper fast. It doesn't look like they're draining at all.
He's kind of shocked by because no one really talks about it. But when someone dies, every muscle in their body relaxes. All of it, including your jaw. And when the jaw relaxes and someone is lying on their back, gravity takes over and the mouth opens. Not dramatically, just naturally. So naturally, in fact, that at the funeral home, we don't just hope the mouth stays closed. We actually have to physically close it, and we have a few different techniques on how to do that, but we'll have to talk about that in another video. That's not—
Yeah, usually they use, like, wire. You know what I mean? Jaws, wire. Sucks.
not poetic.
I mean, I guess it doesn't suck if you're dead, but
That's not optional. That's anatomy. There are techniques for it because without intervention, it will not stay shut. Have you ever been sleeping in the middle of the night and your mouth just pops open? You can feel that your mouth has popped open and you've been inhaling through your mouth, so your mouth is all dry and scratchy. It happens when you die too because it just relaxes. You're going to be thinking about me when you wake up in the middle of the night and you slept with your mouth open. You're going to be like, oh, Lauren, why? So when I see an individual like Jeffrey Epstein laying flat on his back with his mouth naturally closed, no tape, no visual support, no tension, my brain immediately goes, okay, well, the muscle tone is still there. And
yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? Like, it really does look like he's holding his mouth shut. You know, he's on his back. Now, it kind of looks like it's angled backwards, but that's not quite right. He's probably perfectly flat here. It's just the angle of the camera.
Muscle tone does not exist in a deceased individual. And this is one of those little details. I know it's little, but it's a big detail. And people don't realize that because movies,
is there a
when you
different
watch
picture,
movies
though?
and they suddenly pass away, movies lie to us. Television lies to us. Dead people on screen always look peaceful, mouth closed, perfect, calm. I always think of Snow White. She looked beautiful, right? Her mouth is just perfect.
So everybody should definitely go check in Lauren the Mortician. I think that's great. You guys should go there, give her a like, give her a subscribe, and give her a subscribe. Seems to be doing good work, you know. So this could be a very good channel because I'm sure that there's going to be more stuff that comes up in the future too, you know. I mean, as morbid as that sounds, I'm sure she's probably going to have to do something in this vein where it gets political again because everybody dies, you know. So just depends on what way and what happened, or you know, there could be more fake deaths. You know, fake deaths coming up in the future. Who knows, right? So there's all that. Oh, Asmongold just, it was 6 days ago. Yeah, whatever. That's old news now. But yeah, no, I think she did a good job. She explains it well. Seems like she's going to go over it very, very intense and in depth. But yeah, I mean, her analysis just already makes sense. You know what I mean? Let's see. His eyebrows have too much tension as well, yeah. I mean, there's literally, it definitely looks, but here's the most important part, in my opinion, is the coloring of his face. Blood flow, well, why would he have color at all, really, at this point? Usually when you're on your back, your blood's going to drain down. You know, you're not going to have much circulation going on up here. It's going to get very, 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 very white very quick. So it looks like he still is producing heat. Now, again, this could actually be the fact that they are down in a basement and the camera could have overcorrected. You know how AI photos are in general now? Like, not AI photos, but my camera. If I take a picture of something, it's going to be very wildly colorful. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I could probably display this. I'm going to take a picture of the guy here. We'll just see how it color corrects. Well, you know, it's really weird. You see how red his whole face is? Let me show you how my camera does it. It put a lot more intense redness down on his chin, down to his neck, and then lightened up his face, and then brought more redness to his forehead. Look at how that is. See? Actually, it did make it quite a bit more red. But you see how it enhanced the color? Like, this is obviously not what's shown on screen. You could see it. I could see it. Look at how more red he is. See what I mean? That's just what phones do. You know, so it could have been that situation. I don't know what camera this guy used. So he might be way more pale than we actually think. You just don't quite know. So I can understand everything she's viewing on this video. She's going to be absolutely correct in what she sees. The only problem that I may have with this is, did the camera lie to us? See what I mean? So this would be, if it's very hot down there, which it very well could be. This was Florida, right? Where did he pass away? He passed away in Florida? What prison did Epstein die in? This was Florida, wasn't it? New York. Okay. New York. Okay, it was August 10th, 2019. Could it have been hot out there? Yeah, that's a... Okay, what day? August 10th, 2019. New York City. Oh, wait, New York. Wait, where would this have been at? Metropolitan Correction Center. Okay, it's in New York City. New York City. Let's just see. It would have been roughly... Where's it at? It was August 20th, right? Now I gotta go back and look. Oh.
A mortician apparently wants to talk about...
Okay. Oh, this guy does too. I'll look at his stuff. Okay, well, whatever. I gotta go back now. August 10th. Okay, I want to go back to August 10th then. 11:10. Okay, here we go. So the high was 79, and then the low that night was 70. Man, that's such good temperatures. I don't know if he would have been that red in the face or not. I have no clue. It's subjective at that point. They're in a basement. Basements notoriously get hot. But it's also like with perfect degree temperature. So, I don't know. I would expect a guy of this complexion to probably get red-faced when hot. But I don't know. Looks like tape residue under the nose. I think that was cocaine. No. It could be. Could be tape residue. It definitely could be. It's a good point. It's really hard to tell. That's the point, too. You know, there's blurriness. There's definitely questions. There's definitely questions as to whether it is or isn't, you know. But the ultimate question to me is, I don't, you know, is if the camera is lying to us. Also, what's interesting is I notice how well his hair blends into the floor. Could this have been early AI generated too? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Like, his hair goes perfect camouflage with the floor. Perfect. Like, this swirls down, this swirls up. It's, this blends into his hair right here perfectly, here on the bar. I don't know. It's really tough to tell. Could have been early AI. Could be, what? Oh, what's this? What does this chip out right here? See the blue? Right there along that? Kind of chips out a little bit, kind of fights for space on this gray. I don't know, that's interesting. Doesn't seem like the kind of material that would crack like that, like break a piece off. Maybe it is hard plastic he's laying on, though. It's hard to tell, because like I said, the camera could be lying, so there's that. But I'm open to it. I think she did a good job analyzing the picture as it is. The ultimate question just comes down to if the picture's the truth or a lie, you know? When you realize that Epstein's still alive and running his blackmail operation to this day, he could be, too. He could be very powerful. Who knows the kind of people he had control over in that prison? Could be crazy. And that may be why everybody's like, hey, drop the Epstein stuff, you know? I can totally understand. Turns out the scariest movie you ever saw is just real life, and it's called Epstein Works for Israel and Still Alive. Well, okay. Works for Israel, huh? I would like more evidence on that, specifically. And if he is working for Israel, then I would like evidence that the entire country is this way. You know what I mean? And not just a government that has taken over, much like deep state has taken over in the United States, right? You know, I mean, I don't think Israel would ever be any more immune to their government being taken over than the United States government being taken over. Just, you know, kind of a thing out there. You know, and I think that's what Charlie Kirk also was talking about when he's actually, I don't know that. No, I don't think that. I know that. That's what he was talking about in his last interview when they said that he was going anti-Israel. Charlie actually ended up questioning, saying, well, actually, you know, is the government got some bad actors in it, is what he said. Not, you know, the whole government, not the people of Israel. And that's an entire possibility, you know? Like I said, nobody's going to know unless they're a part of the government. Just is what it is. So, you never know. You never know how things are going. For all we know, we've been a one-world government for a long time now. And every single government out there is just pretending. China, you know, Russia. We're all pretending we hate each other. Really, it's all controlled by the same guy, you know, or same group of guys. If that's the case, then we've already lost. Right now, they're just keeping the facade up, you know? That's what their job would be doing. And, you know, if that's the case, then why are people really wrapped up in Israel all the time? I don't understand the direct Israel obsession. Like, I understand people want to put them up at the top and say that they're controlling everything, but at the end of the day, if it's true that every country's being controlled, why does it necessarily have to originate with Israel? Could be that China's the one who did all this. That it's secretly China controlling everything. You know what I mean? Maybe China is, and maybe Israel is just 100% controlled by China. Who knows, right? I mean, if that's the case, then I imagine they probably control the U.S. too. You know, all that good stuff. But I mean, that's how it's supposed to happen. You know, crack open the Bible, read all the way to the end. It's a one-world government. It's a one-world government by the end of it. So, does it matter where it comes from at the end of the day, then, I suppose? Because we're definitely not going to be able to stop it. As much as we'd like to. I mean, so long as you know, believe in the Bible. If not, maybe we do stop it. If the Bible did turn out to be wrong and everything like that, right? Maybe we do end up winning and stopping it and returning the world to a perfect peace. Wouldn't that be something, right? But I don't know. There were stories of how he thought that anyone who wasn't Jewish was an animal. The term goyim was used in the emails. Yeah, I saw that. You know, absolutely. And there's absolutely Jews out there that believe that. No doubt about it. The problem is how far does that ideology go? You know what I mean? A lot of people always tell me read the Talmud and what it says and stuff like that. Well, there are two Talmuds, though. There's the Babylonian one and the... Crap. How do I always forget? What are the differences between the two Talmuds? Most of the Groypers out there, though, don't... Okay, the Jerusalem Talmud and the Babylonian Talmud. Most most Groypers out there don't know that there's two Talmuds. So there's that. Let's see, are two distinct contemporaneous compilations of rabbinic discussions on the Mishnah. Words I don't know. Great. The Babylonian Talmud is longer, more studied, and considered authoritative, while the Jerusalem Talmud is older, more concise, and focused on laws applicable to the land of Israel. Okay. Key differences. Origin and date. The Yerushalmi was compiled in Israel around 400 CE. Okay. We are literally talking about religion. We don't need to use Common Era. We should definitely use before Christ and after Christ. Because this is literally like Judaism and Christianity that we're talking about. I don't think Jewish people use the term Common Era. You know what I mean? Maybe they do. Maybe it's more correct for them because they don't believe the Messiah came. But, you know, I don't think they were the ones using Common Era. I don't think they do. I've never seen a Jewish guy use Common Era. Is that common in any Jewish guys in chat? Tell me if you guys use Common Era or not. While the Bavli was compiled in Babylon around 500 CE. Could we just stick to Babylonian Talmud and Jerusalem Talmud instead of using these other terms? Because I don't know what... I don't know what these are. Okay. Language and style. Okay. Hold on. Babylonian is Bavli. Okay, and then Jerusalem is Yerushalami. Okay, that Jerusalem. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm just dumb. Never mind. Okay, so anyway, the Jerusalem one was compiled around 400 CE, and the Bavli. Okay, 500. So they're only 100 years apart. Dang, they're pretty old. Language and style. The Jerusalem Talmud uses Western Aramaic, and is often cryptic or concise. Okay. The Babylonian one uses Eastern Aramaic and is generally more discursive and includes more elaborate legal arguments and analysis of premise. Okay. And which one uses the term goyim? I'm guessing it's going to be. Wait, did I spell goyim right? I think so. Which one uses the term goyim? Okay. We'll see. I bet it's going to be the Babylonian one. Let's see. Goyim, which translates to nations, and typically refers to non-Jews, often context. Okay. Where's that one? Oh, they share the same core text, the Mishnah. They represent different compilations of rabbinic discussions, Germa from different regions, time periods. Both Talmuds use the term goy, singular, or goyim. Oh, I misspelled it. Goyim. Plural, which translate to nations typically. Okay. Do they just refer to it as non-Jews? Both Talmuds use the term. Term goy means nation or nations, and the Talmud, it is frequently used to refer to non-Jewish nations. In many contexts, goy or goyim in the Talmud refers to specific idolaters, not all non-Jews. Okay. Censors, okay, so they're talking about goyim as in people who don't believe in, essentially, God. Gotcha. Censors in later periods often changed to references in the Talmud to goy or Gentile to Achim, an acronym for star worshiper, or Samaritan, to distinguish between ancient pagan and populations and contemporary neighbors. Okay. All right. But not one really has more, how would I put it? Emphasis on goyim than the other? I don't know. I don't know if it does or doesn't. But it doesn't look like goyim really actually means what people think it means. I think people get more offended. It's probably people who get offended a lot easier about, like, essentially what they call non-believers. You know what I mean? Kind of like how Arabic people call, anybody who doesn't believe in Allah infidels. So it's kind of like, I guess, their term for infidel, but it's not, that harsh. Because, like, infidel, because these are, like, non-Jewish believers. Like, what does infidel mean? Is it just non-believers who rejects or does not believe in a particular religion? Often used in derogatory way. So I don't know that Jewish people use it as derogatory. Epstein definitely used it derogatory, so maybe it does. I've never really truly looked into it. I've never had anybody use that term. Epstein's probably the first person I've actually heard somebody use that term directly. So, is there any other people? Maybe. Pluto's still a planet to me. Yeah, I understand that. I think we may have discovered the actual planet beyond Pluto now, though. So, we'll have to see. There was some data that came in like a couple weeks ago, and it's like apparently on an incredibly elongated orbit. It's very rare for it to come by, Yeah, infidel is harsh. I don't know that goyim is that harsh or not, although Epstein does make the case for it, Now, I wonder who all, let's see. Who all has used goyim as derogatory? I'm kind of curious. Let's see. Goyim, plural of goy, meaning nation in Hebrew. Okay. Anti-Semites use goyim as derogatory? That's stupid. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you pull this up on AI? Like, but in modern English usage, it's sometimes used by a slur by some individuals. But, okay, who that is famous has used the term goyim as derogatory. Anybody like, I mean, that comes up with the Epstein files right here, obviously. Let me move myself over here where I can be out of the way. John Mendeo, founder of the Goyim Defense League. Who is this? A hate group that uses the term to promote anti-Semitic rhetoric. That's hilarious. Like, the Goyim Defense League. That could be a very funny thing, I guess. Sydney Zion, author and journalist who used the term in 1991 review of Alan Dershowitz's book, Chutzpah, which drew objection. That's it? These are the only people? Okay. So Epstein and Sydney Zion, and then John is a joke. He did it. But that doesn't count. You know what I mean? That doesn't count when he uses goyim as a derogatory as a joke. So he gets a pass for that. She clearly doesn't, but I mean, is that it? Like, are these the only people? Like, are there, like, I'm sure there's maybe normal people who do it, right? But I can't verify that. So I have to kind of go off people who are known. And if that's it, I don't know. Maybe goyim's insulting, maybe it's not. I'm not here to make that argument, really. I just wanted to find out how prominent it was, for the most part. And it doesn't seem to be incredibly prominent, you know. Alex Jones here. Let's see some of this. I'm kind of curious.
The man on the stretcher, to me, did not look like Epstein. And how they even let the public see that. Normally when you're dead, they, you know, the drapes over you. The ears are different,
Let's
a lot of stuff. But hiding in the Congress.
Oh, it's not good. Oh, wait, there we go. Yeah, that really genuinely doesn't look like him right here. I mean, they don't do a great job of showing him, like, this. No, it could be him. It's just hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. See if they get a better picture. This definitely looks like him in the cone. But do they get anything else? Let's see. Wait, what is this? According to Grok, Epstein had a barbed wire tattoo on his upper left arm. Did he really? Did he really? Wait, hold on. Is that's what they were showing that picture for? Did they show that at all? Oh, come on, though. That's not good. Like, look at where that is. That's not great. That's not a great picture. Epstein barb wire. Let's see this. Okay. So this is what they were showing. That tattoo looks so unbelievably fake, though. That looks so unbelievably detailed, like brand new tattoo status. And then to not have any other tattoo anywhere? Man, that's going to be a tough one for me. I don't know that wasn't added on by AI. Okay, well, they cut this off. Epstein had barbed wire tattoo. Well, let's see. Did Epstein have a barbed wire tattoo? Or was that added by AI? Let's find out. Tattoo does look fake. Unless he had just gotten it, but man, at that age, I don't see people going out and getting brand new tattoos. You know what I mean? I don't have a single tattoo on my body, so I mean, by the time I get into my 50s, if I don't have one by then, I'm just not getting one. Let me see. Come on, expert. Oh, they're really going through this, aren't they? Genuinely curious, because that could be just like, if he has a tattoo, then he just gave away his entire death. You know what I mean? That he's alive. Based on available information from the depositions and released documents, Jeffrey Epstein did have a barbed wire tattoo on his upper left arm. This was confirmed by Epstein himself under oath in 2017 deposition, where he acknowledged the tattoo and questioned about it. Why was he questioned about that tattoo? There's no evidence that the tattoo and photos from the original Epstein files was added by AI. Those images appeared to authentic. Okay. Okay. Oh, then I know what I'm searching next. Epstein morgue photo. Okay. Let's see if we can find, just morgue. Just make it easy for it so it doesn't pull up other stuff. All right. Autopsy. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they are... Man, why does this photo have to look so freaking fake? Huh. Wait a minute. Is this inverted? Nope. He's still doesn't have it over there. Where specifically at on his arm? It's like right above his bicep. Could be there. It could be there. Because it's not that high up to his shoulder. It's right above his bicep. It could be on this. It could be covered up there. Or could be over on this arm too, depending on if it's a reverse image or not. Or like a flipped image. Can we read anything? See if they're backwards letters. Could just be well hidden. See if there's any other photos. If this one's blurred out. Looks like a... Is that Dave Mustaine? What the heck? This isn't blurred out super well, is it? Let me, I'm gonna turn the screen off and we'll see. Oh, it's actually just like that. It's a joke. Okay, cool. See, I'll show you guys. It's just, bam. It's not actually blurred out. Okay, man. I don't see anything that could... If that's the most they've released, this right here is the top of his bicep. So it would be somewhere over here or over here. Let's see how, if it's yay nipple high or not, as Brannigan would say it. In this picture, well... Man, that guy's got some low-hanging nips. It's above the chest. You got some... It's right about here. It should... But his arms are folded backwards. That gives, that makes the tattoo lower. And I don't know how much lower it would go. Here we go. Man, they did a damn good job of making sure that tattoo couldn't be seen. I can tell you that. They did a really good job. They're doing CPR. Yeah, it's just... Now, this photo looks like him right here, my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Interesting. That's not Jeffrey on the autopsy table. Oh, man. I mean, his nose definitely looks more curved there, but that could also be camera lighting because it's blending this light with the nose, and it could be like a little bit of AI correction in our phones. Our phones do that. Our phones have been doing that for a while, have had, like, not necessarily AI. I hate calling it AI. They have, like, auto-correcting photos. You know what I mean? So... I don't know. It's odd. It's so tough to say. The ears are the most convincing right here. See, now that's so much better when they don't have the purple on it. Because now you can see this wide triangle right here. And then but the ear could have relaxed. No, I mean, I don't have any control over my inner earlobe. It's cartilage. They're kind of similarly shaped on the Y. You can make a Y shape right there. Can make a bigger Y shape, almost like, you know, it's swollen up here. It could be blood flow has gone into his ear and swelled up. Fluid has built up. Attached earlobe, but the earlobe's like big and floppy, and this is like smooth and tight. Yeah, it could be because it's kind of it's very similar. If it would swell up, if there's any type of swelling, it's possible that this could be him. It could be in that sense that there's no longer blood flow, so things are starting to kind of fall down. I don't know. I'm really questioning myself here. It's just so... Wait a minute, what's this? Arm. There's the bend of his elbow, so he's down like this. It's just right, like the whole bicep right here. All the way up to the very point where you would cut off. And I don't know if this is left hand or right hand. But this should be right, like right in this gray is where the tattoo would be if it is there. covered up his arm completely there. Be able to see it if, yeah. Yep, it's tough. It's tough to see. Man. He may have had a tattoo, but at the end of the day, I don't know that they took a picture of his arm with the tattoo visible. It's too tough to say. It's much too close of a call. That could just be a little lower than what we expect it to be. And it's covered up. Man, they did everything they could to make sure that we could not 100% this death, didn't they? They did everything they could. I don't know if it was intentional or not. But unfortunately, with his arm up like this when he's doing this number to show a tattoo, you know, and I'll do it kind of the same way. So it's like this, you know. So the arm's extended out, even though it looks like I'm doing the same thing as him. My arm is so far away from my body. Like, I'm literally, like, to my angle, I am just 90-degreeing this away from my body. Camera angle doesn't quite look like it, does it? Looks like the arm's pretty close to the body. Like, at this angle, you could see it. This angle, like, see what I mean? Looks like it's much closer to the body than it is. He could have his arm quite away from his body, making the tattoo look higher. Bringing it closer back in, it would probably drop it quite a bit. So it's tough to tell. It's really tough to tell. Anyway. He does have low-hanging... Yeah, he does have low-hanging... Dang right. Poor boy. That's why he's such a bad person. Never satisfied with his nips. I don't know. Is there anything else, Epstein... I'll just see. Is there anything else to this? Let's go to latest. Is there any other kind of news that's been popped up on this at all? Being in jail and Epstein still... Okay. The claim that Jeffrey Epstein is alive in Israel is not supported by evidence. Official records confirm he died by suicide 2019. Viral photos like these are often AI generated. Okay. Well, it is tough to tell, but he did have very thinning hair. I doubt that they would have gotten him, well, tough to tell. Where did this picture come from, I wonder? You know? But they circle his ear, and you just can't, what am I supposed to do with that? I can't tell if his freaking ear is there or not. Oh, things get saggy? Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, he ain't sagging. They're just there. They're, like, bolted to him. I'm not giving his nips a pass. There's no excuse for that. He should fix those. He's rich enough. Get him fixed. Great. Let's see. Is Jeffrey Epstein... Okay. Hey, Kevin. Wait, who's Kevin? Why is he asking this dude? Did this dude get caught? Huh. This dude get caught on the list? It's hilarious how many people are commenting. I'm sorry, but if something in Australia, that's it, mate. Make sure the flag. I don't know. Let me see something real quick. Sorry, had to text. There we go. All right. Here we go. So, Mr. Rudd, you don't represent Australia anymore. Is anything else saying Epstein? I'm just curious. Say Epstein. Oh, man, this guy has been caught. Okay. Kevin Rudd. So who's Kevin Rudd? Is he a politician? Interesting. Hold on. Who is Kevin Rudd? Oh, I don't need expert. Let's just do it fast. This thing should be able to tell me here. Prominent Australian politician, diplomat, and China expert. Oh, okay. He's a China expert. Gotcha. He served as the 26th Prime Minister of Australia twice. Oh, okay. Let's see. From 2007 to 2010, then briefly again 2013. Interesting. Okay, so he's in it a lot. Why is the media silent? Why is he not being questioned? That is interesting. He's got just as many mentions in the files as Trump. Nobody's questioning this dude. Funny how that works, isn't it? I actually do like, I like the fact that he pointed that out, you know? All these people that are in the files. And, the left isn't going to mention any of their guys whatsoever. Like, it's just so frustrating. Let's see. From March, yeah, okay. All right, we got that. Oh, it's hilarious, though. Absolutely great. I didn't need to see that. Let's see. Kevin, you had 2 runs. Both time you failed. It's time Australians hold it. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get off that. Let's see. Is there anything new, though? That's funny. I'm glad we came across that. That's great. Oh, man. Let me see here. We've known Epstein is alive since 8/30/2019. Get with the program. So, wait. Okay, so this was, like, literally taken in August of 2019. But we don't know that that's him or not, really. Silver-haired guy, but lots of people have gray hair. Yep, Ghislaine was still alive, and she was more responsible than Epstein ever was, yet no one ever talks about her. Trump is even considering pardoning her. Well, now I understand why he is. If Epstein's still around, perhaps they're like, look, we're going to get her out of there. We're going to figure something out. May want to figure out how to do it. And perhaps Trump came out and was like, okay, could I just try it the easy way? Are we going to have her end herself too? Which no one would believe at this point. They're probably trying to really come up with some crazy ideas to get her out of there. And I bet that he's running a blackmail ring. And hey, you know what? Trump may be caught up in that. I don't know if he is or isn't. I would hope that he's not. Trump has done more for this country than any president has in a while. And all while, I don't know how to put it. Like, all while all these people who are compromised by Epstein are fighting against him. It would be one heck of a show if he faked it the whole time, has been on all these people's sides instead of the American people. But Trump's actions have literally said otherwise. Like, Trump's doing everything that we want him to do, which is unusual for any type of politician to be compromised. So it's just a tough spot. Is he compromised or not? It's really, really hard to say right now. It genuinely is just hard to say. And, is what it is, right? Island is going for $125 million. Like, why? Why so much money? Most islands sell for like around $1 to $5 million. It's kind of wild, isn't it? $125 million for that. I think it's probably just to prevent people from actually buying it. Nobody wants to buy an island for $125 million. Let me just see. What is the most expensive island to ever sell? Like, what is the most expensive one? Based on recent high-value transactions, the most expensive island recently sold is Hamilton Island in Australia's Great Barrier Reef, purchased by Blackstone for approximately $1.2 billion. Dang. How big is this? Lanai, Hawaii. Okay. How big are these, let's just find one that's in the similar price range. 2024, Tarpon Island. Okay. Is how big? It's, geez, really? It's like 2.6 acres? That sounds like it could get swallowed up by the ocean pretty quickly on just a bad day. That's crazy. Okay. So 2.6 acres went for about 125,000. Or 125 million. Let's see. Little St. James Island. It's got to be way bigger than 2 acres. Yeah, 70 to 80 acres. I guess if you comp it, it's actually a steal to get that island. But most islands are like, I don't know. What is the average price of a 10-acre island? They're like ranging from 500,000 to tens of millions of dollars. So yeah, I mean, I'm not wrong. Most islands I see, and I've looked at a lot of islands that are for sale just cause why not? You know, sometimes whenever you pull open the Zillow app, you just go to wild places around the world and you go, wow. If I only had $500,000, I could own an island. You know what I mean? I've seen that a lot, so I don't know. I was just surprised. But anyway, let me guess Brian Krasenstein's only going to talk about Trump here or something. Government put boxes covered in a sheet inside a vehicle to trick the media, pretending that it was Epstein's body. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So he's saying it was the government doing it, where with Epstein's body and had, okay, interview of blank. All right. Remained with COs and something until personnel from office chief medical examiner arrived to transport Epstein to the family. Due to the large news media presence outside MCC, a male OCME official called and said he would be arriving at the loading dock with a black vehicle in order to thwart the media. Oh, so wait a minute. This completely corroborates that Epstein post, by the way, that was posted before it was official that he had passed. This actually genuinely covers it. That's crazy, right? So it's real. It's absolutely real. That post, that 4chan post absolutely was real. Let's see. Blank, blank, and blank used boxes and sheets to create what appeared to be a human body, which was put into the white OCME vehicle, which the press followed, along with the black vehicle to depart unnoticed with Epstein's body. So it's true. It is absolutely 1,000,000% confirmed. Whoever made that post on 4chan, either that was a doctored post after this came out, or it was legit. But that's crazy. Now, why are the Clintons trying to back out? Okay. He's not going to answer that question. Is this for the trial? What's this? They're not. It's Comer insists the deposition from... Wait, what? Congress sets the terms, not the Clintons. The American people deserve to see all the testimony live. What does this have to do with Trump? Dude's literally just asking about the Clintons. And then they do this, of course. You know. Man who barely knows Jeffrey Epstein somehow turns up in hundreds of photos with them. I've seen 3. Are there hundreds of photos? Hey, guys, are there hundreds of photos of Trump with Epstein? How many photos? Let me see. How many photos is Trump in with Epstein? Okay, I don't know how that popped up when I hit enter. So it's saying that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other events. So, like, if you're looking for visuals of the most commonly referenced ones, here's some examples. I want a count of all publicly known photos. Why can't you just count them on the internet of how many there are of publicly known? Okay, many images are variations. Some are video stills or low-quality captures. Stock photos, archives like Getty Images return 1,419 results for Trump Epstein, but this includes duplicates. Okay. Yields around 40 images, many of which feature them together at that location. Let's see. Okay, Epstein nearby are saying, okay, so it just isn't going to give me anything. Key distinct publicly known photos of events include 1992, 1993, 1993, 1997, 1997, 1999, and then 2000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photos, really? I don't know. How many do you know of that are not duplicates or from video stills? Okay. How about this? Okay. All right. From credible reporting like CNN and all this stuff, let's just get to the conclusion. No authoritative sources. I don't care about authoritative sources. How many do you know of? If you have specific... Okay. Just saying, like, it returns over 1,400 results if you just Getty image search, but the vast majority are not direct together shots. Yeah, I mean, I don't care about that. So they really are the core distinct photos. Just these right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it said 8 last time, so I don't know. I don't think I can rely on AI for this. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? And this one counts 6. Okay. Well, there's clearly not that many that AI can pick up on, so I don't know. Monica Trump never went to any of Epstein's properties. Or Trump never. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he never did go to any of his properties. There's no... yeah, exactly. Well, back in the 90s, you were probably more likely to take about 10 or so a night, and this kind of fits with it, so there'd be that. You wouldn't take that many in the 90s, and it seems like, you know, obviously when you go through all the 90s to the 2000s, it's over a 10-year period, and there's like 7 photos. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can these days, though. If it was today, man, you'd probably have like 1,000 photos, especially Epstein. He'd probably get you in every single position. You know, probably have 1,000 photos of you by the end of it, you know? So, yeah, this is kind of nuts, all this situation here. There we go. So, yeah, I don't know. People make wild claims. Hundreds of photos, like, it's like hundreds of photos with them, and there's just no proof of that whatsoever. Just great. Okay, now they're showing this flipped for some reason.
Okay, so that angle...
Yeah, this photo's bad. So why would they even show this? Like, why would they even show this at all?
Okay, so that angle I got yesterday was really good, and it definitely looked like Jeffrey Epstein. But the angle that they put out today, no doubt in my mind, that is 1,000% Jeffrey Epstein.
Man, I feel bad for people who just do not do their due diligence. This is AI. I cannot believe people just fall for this crap so easily. Here's the thing, too. Epstein was always fit. This dude's got a gut. Now, if there's one thing, Epstein was never a fat guy, you know, at all. He was never out of shape. You can even see it while he's laying down on the morgue. He doesn't have, like, a bunch of excessive fat, you know, at all. And this dude...
Okay, so that...
Like, it's sad and unfortunate that people fell for this picture, you know? But also, this photo's flipped. This is his right arm now. And
okay, so that...
his right arm here with absolutely no proof of this. Like, this is all straightforward words, even though these aren't real words at all. It's all gibberish. It's all reading in the correct order. They're not backwards. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, it's just too easy to tell that it's AI. Not to mention, there are, like, look at this, like, look at the shadows, how weird they are. You know what I mean? Like, this shadow right here. This shadow kind of shows this, but it kind of shows his shadow, too, going this way, when it shouldn't be. Epstein doesn't have a shadow, but he's kind of stepping in one, but he doesn't have a shadow at all, anywhere, that I can see. And he's mostly in the light. You can see his shadow coming right off his neck here, right? Right onto his shoulder. And then for some reason, there's sunlight right here going down his shoulder, too, on the backside of his shoulder, which should not have sunlight on it. It's a little weird. I don't know. The sunlight patterns just are not quite correct in this photo. It's just too easy. Way too easy to see. But oh well. Not to mention, people just don't walk this close to each other, side by side, on busy streets. They're always going to be kind of front to back, so that's weird too, but all right. Epstein's still playing Fortnite using his old username, location Israel. Google it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that was quite right. But I don't know. I'll look further into it. Oh, this is just a garbage photo. That's kind of a crap photo, isn't it? Anyway, ask how many photos of Bill Clinton. Yeah, exactly. I should ask that, right? How many with Bill Clinton? Billiam Clinton. Okay. Public archives show a small number of known photos, often described as several or a few. Well-known 1993 photo, 2002 photo, possibly 2 others from the 90s. Reports consistently describe Bill Clinton featuring prominently or several multiple photos. Okay. This is given a completely different answer than for Trump. Clinton arm in, arm, or posing directly with Epstein. Clinton in a pool with Epstein. Clinton in a hot tub with Epstein. Clinton in a private plane with Epstein. Yeah, these are a lot more descriptive, too. It seems like it's probably about the same amount. The only difference is you often see him in Epstein's plane and on Epstein's property. So there is that. Release mentions batches like 19 to 90 plus photos. Yeah, this is given a lot more descriptive. Why was it so much easier for this to get Trump out? or to get Clinton out than Trump. That's odd. Probably because there's actually more information. You know what I mean? It's interesting how it works. Very interesting how it works. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Ultimate verdicts here, because I'm going to have to hop on off here. But I want to know what you guys think. Is he alive? Is he gone? Did the deep state take care of Epstein? Or is Epstein still running the deep state? What do you guys think? Did Trump report Epstein? Yeah, that's a good question. Did he actually report Epstein? Let me see. Did Trump ever report Epstein after he kicked him out of Lago? I don't think he did. Because there was nothing really to report. He was just being a creep towards his daughter. And he was just like, I get out, you know. There was no crime technically committed, just a father protecting his dad, you know. Or father protecting his daughter. The incident leading to Epstein's ban from Mar-a-Lago occurred around 2004 to 2007. Accounts vary slightly on the exact year and details. Reports from sources like the Miami Herald. Okay. Indicate that the ban stemmed from Epstein's inappropriate behavior, such as harassing or pursuing a teenage daughter of a club member. Oh, so it wasn't Trump's daughter. Okay. Okay. Trump has repeatedly cited this ban as evidence of distancing himself from Epstein, describing him as a creep or saying Epstein stole employees. However, multiple accounts, including investigative reporting and discussions in the recent Epstein document releases, consistently show that specific complaint or incident at Mar-a-Lago was not reported to the police by Trump or the club, for instance. Yeah, I mean, what do you... Like, you see a dude being kind of creepy towards somebody and you kick him out. You could report him. But, I don't know. Yeah. And he grabbed an underage girl that Trump was friends with. Yeah, I don't know. Most people seem to think that he's dead. I tend to kind of go towards the lean. I lean towards him being alive. And the only reason why I'm leaning towards him being alive is because there was no definitive proof of death that was shown. And with how shady they were and how they admitted that they actually did switch out bodies and like make a fake body for the news team to kind of chase after. I understand the excuse that they would use, like, hey, we wanted to get rid of these guys, but at the same time, it does put doubt in. It's like, why would you do that in general? Like, who cares if the news media followed? Would it have done anything? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, news media follows them to the morgue, right? And what could the news have done to, like, what could they have shown that would have been bad? Him getting wheeled out into the morgue and then news can't go into the morgue. It's private property. So they couldn't just go in there. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I lean towards him being alive still, because I'm like, that is weird. I would just like proof of death. I mean, how hard could it be to provide that, right? They don't have to prove, they don't have to show where he's buried. They don't have to do any of the crazy stuff that Candace is calling for when it comes to Charlie. You know what I mean? What you got here, Madness? Oh, you pulled up that one again. Gotcha. Do I still have it pulled up? This is what Christopher... I'll have to take a look at that later on, man. That's funny. Was that the same thing? It was, right? Yeah. Gotcha. Just making sure. I'll have to pull it up next time. You're about 50-50 right now? Yeah. I mean, it's tough it's so tough. Because, like, he could just be gone. Did they release a death certificate at all? Is there a death certificate on Epstein? I don't know that they would make that public anyway, though. That would have a lot of, like, there is a death certificate. Okay. There's at least a death certificate. I mean, it's going to say everything that we already know. Suicide and all that. I mean, but that's the problem, right? Is the guy definitely did not end himself. We know that for a fact, because it's, was it his clavicle that broke? What bone was broken in Epstein's neck? The hyoid bone, that's right. So, has anyone broken that bone from themselves? Just out of curiosity. Many documented cases of hanging. Okay. This injury is not rare. And oh, it's not rare. Oh. I thought it was rare. Let's see. Out of 56 hangings, leg fractures include hyoid occurred in 71% of cases. Oh. Maybe we misunderstood that. Maybe this is just AI lying to me too, though. So don't take it, or take it with a whole bowl of salt. You know what I mean? Hyoid fractures are more frequent in manual strangulation. Often, well, what did it say? What's up with the BS up top? Often homicidal with rates around 50 to 73%. I said hanging themselves. Okay, should I have been more specific for you, AI? There we go. Yes, hyoid fractures have been documented in numerous cases. Hyoid fractures occur in 15 to 35% of doing it yourself. That's a lot more like it. Okay. It's not impossible, though, apparently. Not impossible. But whenever you have, like, low possibility of this happening, and it happened. When you have them trying to get, have the news chase around a fake body. When you have no footage of this taking place. When you have, literally, he's on suicide watch, it still manages to do it anyway. You know what I mean? It's just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. Like, to do all these, like, 33% chance of breaking the hyoid bone. He did. 0% chance, really, of getting into the jail, or not having footage in the jail, but whatever. That happened. You have nearly a 0% chance of hanging yourself in a jail when you're on watch. Whenever you're using paper, and then they can't produce the noose either. Man, it really does look like he's still alive to me. It really does. But it's not impossible that he's dead. It's not impossible that he did it to himself either, but oof. I mean, you'd have a better chance of literally getting struck by lightning multiple times, though. But again, not impossible, I guess. I don't know. You guys think he's dead. I think he's alive. But I'm about 50-50 as well. I think I'm 55-45. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was supposed to. So, I don't know that it was paper, because apparently they can't find it. But it's supposed to be paper when you're on suicide watch. And he was, the week before he passed, was put on suicide watch. So, there's that. But you are correct, Wombat. For sure it's not 0. And that's always something that has to be in the back of everyone's mind. And Monica definitely taking the middle road here. Think he was just ended by the elites. That's the most common stance for sure. And, it can't be disproven at all. So there's nothing wrong with that. Because, I wouldn't be like pretty much almost 50-50 if that were the case too. So, he probably got plastic surgery. I mean, guy's got more money than he knows what to do with. Anything's possible at this point, it sucks. This is one of those areas where, this is why I didn't want to focus on the Epstein stuff at all for the channel, really. And I wanted to kind of end with this point for the most part. This stuff will never be complete. The Epstein files will never, ever be complete, ever. It's not going to. We will never get a hold of them in their entirety. So the only use that these files have at this point is one of two. They released everything that they have, even though it's not everything that, or maybe this is everything that the government has. Let's just pretend that this is everything the government has on it. Okay, great. Well, it's either designed that way to inflict, confusion on the American populace here, to get everyone fighting and arguing and all that good stuff. Leftists fighting with right-wing people more often, it's just going to happen that way. The right is only going to report on right-wing people who are named in the list. The right is also going to only focus on all the left-wing people that are in the list. It's a great list to divide people. But the list isn't complete for a reason. And the list isn't complete for a reason because people then can speculate and turn this into a war, into a culture war. That's exactly what's happening here, and that's why I don't really want to focus on the files, because I don't really believe the files are accurate at all. And I don't think they're going to be. I mean, look at the FBI that reported on all the files that have dumped out here, okay? All different FBIs. Trump's FBI, Biden's FBI, Trump's FBI, Obama's FBI, Bush's FBI. What's the one thing that never changes? Well, the style or reporting of everybody from the FBI in the files. It's kind of all equally vague. Almost like the FBI is the same FBI throughout the entirety. Have you heard anybody say, wow, these files from 2013 are so much different from the files of 2025? I haven't seen anybody draw that conclusion. Gotta ask yourself why. I think it's the same FBI that's compiled all this. And the FBI allowed all of this to get released on purpose. I think it's the SO division. I really do. That's what I think these files are. That's why I also think that Epstein's probably alive. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I genuinely don't know. But at the end of the day, who knows? Maybe it is Israel. Maybe they're behind all of it, right? The question is how do we know? How do we find out? Maybe it's France. Hey, maybe France is the one taking the cake on this one. You know? Maybe they got tired of surrendering. And so they went to Little St. James. Right? Maybe it's Canada. Who knows? Maybe it's just actually us. Maybe we are the ones that have always been behind it. I mean, if you think about it, we found out that Epstein's island isn't even nearly as big as his ranch that he had in yeah, let me see. One more thing here. How big is Epstein's ranch in New Mexico? Because we know the island's 70 acres. Oh my God. That's massive. Zorro Ranch? Dude. The island is 70 acres. Oh my God. The island. All right, I didn't even know this. I'm just going to flat out say this now. I don't know how many people have put two and two together on this, but the island was a decoy. That's crazy. Epstein's ranch in New Mexico. 8,000 acres? Yeah, things weren't going on at the island. Things were going on in New Mexico. 30 to 40 mile, like, how many? Oh, wait, actually, yeah, 40 miles southeast of Santa Fe. 7,500 to 8,000 acres. Oh my God. Okay. How much? I know 100 acres is about, no wait, 700 acres is about a mile. So that's got to be like 10 miles, right? Does this translate to? Let's see. 11 to 12 miles. Yeah, see, I was about right. Wow. 12 square miles that he owned. He owned literally a town. He owned literally a freaking town. That's crazy. What are you guys arguing about? No, they don't. Wait, who has no proof? People have said that what happened on his ranch in New Mexico is way worse than what happened on the island. I bet. Like, that's crazy. I bet they would. Is that what y'all are arguing about? Like, his ranch is unbelievably massive. Oh my God. That is crazy. A perfect square of 7,500 acres would have roughly 3.4 miles long. So 3.4 square miles. Yeah, that'd be 13 miles. Yeah. 14 miles. That's so freaking crazy. The ranch's actual shape is irregular. Yeah, of course. It's not going to be in a square. It's going to be in like some sort of weird. I would like to see it. Oh wait, actually, Zorro Ranch. Yeah, Zorro Ranch, New Mexico. There's got to be pictures, right? Wow, he's got a palace out there. Okay. New Mexico hopes to seize parts of Jeffrey Epstein's ranch. Oh my gosh. Look at the bullseye garden there. That's crazy. Target garden. Yeah. If dude wanted to hide some stuff out there, I mean, there just ain't nut. Look at all that. Look at that. Like, okay, let's just open the image. That's such a massive property. He owns all the way out here. Like, that is crazy. That's crazy. Wow. I had no idea it was that big. I was told it was bigger than the island, but I didn't think it was 10 times bigger than the island. Like, can I get a much better shot? Like, oh, he's got that blue kind of like temple thing going on there, maybe? Is that what that is? Why just a little blue patch? Huh. It's interesting. All U.S. presidents go to Israel to touch the wall. Both Dems and represent touch the wall. Mandatory ritual of being controlled. I don't think it... Well, actually, I don't know if that's the case or not. I think people just go and touch the wall. It's the prayer wall, right? I think it's just to show respect. Like, most people go over to freaking Japan and feed the fish with the guy, you know, or do their traditions. I don't know. I think other countries have you kind of do their tradition when you go to them. Too bad we don't have a guild tradition. Why don't we bring people over here? And, why don't we bring people over here and have them do a tradition? I don't think it's a pool because look at how this drapes over the top. Unless that's glass. Could be glass. Could be a pool up there maybe, but I don't see any doorways to get to it. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, here's a much better, like, look at all that. Good Lord, that's crazy. There ain't anything for miles on outward anyway, and he owns most of this. You come out here, you ain't getting out. You know what I mean? You go to that ranch, you're not escaping. That's wild. Yeah, it is beautiful. It's beautiful land. I mean, the island's beautiful. Epstein's Island is absolutely gorgeous. But, you know, I mean, it's in the most prime part of the ocean, pretty much. Down there in the Bahamas, isn't it? Is it the Bahamas, or is it the Keys? Where Epstein Island is. Let's see. There's his island, which, obviously, beautiful, beautiful island. No doubt about that. But, you know, I mean, that's what money gets you when you get that much. You can pretty much afford to buy your own city, own country, own island. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, these are, man, how do they have so many different pictures of this island? Or of this property? It's crazy. Was that? Wait. Oh, yeah, it's blue there. Wait, is that a pool? Are these like, is that like castle? No, wait, maybe? I guess it could be a pool. Is that a sliding door? I thought it was a window. But man, that's not very much room to go from there to the pool. I guess you wouldn't need it if you're not worried about kids drowning. Which I doubt he was very worried about if a kid drowned or not. Probably just, you know, could be. I wish I could zoom in on that and see. Yeah, well, that's not it. What is this? Cuba Mage Mess. Oh, that's in Arizona. That's crazy, though. I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea that it was that much bigger. That's crazy. But they went and touched the Kremlin wall in Moscow or the Chinese wall. You'd consider it normal, too? Yeah, they do that. Like, have you ever seen Pelosi do the whole, like, Muslim thing? What did she do? Pelosi Muslim prayer thing. Was it this? Here we go. Congressional Democrats criticized for wearing kente cloth. Okay, maybe it was the kente cloth thing, you know. I mean, the politicians do stupid stuff like this all the time. I don't know. Let's see. What politician's gone and done the wall thing for in prayer wall? There's Western Wall Hotel in Jerusalem. Okay, there's that. Obama 2008 President Cameron left a note asking for protection for his family, forgiveness for his sins. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. He put a note in the prayer wall. Politician, it's Mecca. That's the one. Mecca prayer thing. Let's see. 2008 Representative Keith Ellison, first Muslim elected Congress. He did that, but let's find someone who's not a Muslim though. Maybe not politician. As a president, it would be so bad if they ever did that. Oh, Nigerian president did. Okay. Oh wait. United States politician. Is he the only politician? You mean even Mamdani hasn't done it? He was just talking about like literally like praising Allah and or doing whatever Muhammad, was it Muhammad? Said something about involving like, you know, Islam will bring prosperity to America or some crap like that, just like yesterday. So he hasn't done that? Okay. He's one of us. Okay. Yeah, Mamdani right here they're talking about. Okay. How about this? Every weird foreign tradition a U.S. politician has partaken. Let's say that. All right. I probably shouldn't have put weird. U.S. politicians frequently participate in foreign traditions during diplomatic visits, state dinners, or cultural exchanges to build rapport. These could sometimes appear weird or unusual from the American perspective. Okay, so here we go. Some notable examples. Barack Obama drinking snake wine in Vietnam. Made from actual snakes? Do they ferment snakes in the wine? That's disgusting. Obama joined locals in... Traditional Vietnamese drink where venomous snakes are infused in rice. Oh, it's that. There was somebody who got bitten by one of those when they turned the bottom out. It was like, it still had like muscle reflex or something. Like it was totally dead, but it like got him and like injected some venom or something. I need to look that up. Or was that just like 1,000 Ways to Die BS? I think I might have watched that in 1,000 Ways to Die. It could have been something fake, but okay. Disgusting. Bill Clinton eating unconventional food abroad. That's not so weird to me. I don't know. This one's a little weird. It kind of borders on it, but it's not the craziest. George Bush holding his hands with the Saudi Crown Prince Abdullah. This is probably what I'm thinking of, I think. At a Texas ranch meeting, Bush walked hand in hand with the Saudi leader in a common gesture of friendship and respect for Arab cultures, especially among men. Gay. Just saying it right now, gay. Too many Americans, this appeared unusual or weird due to differing norms around male physical affection. Yeah, it's just gay. Okay, that's great. Good job, Bush. Trump participating in symbolic gestures abroad. During visits, Trump joined traditional elements like sword dances in Saudi Arabia, where he's part of that's not so weird either. I don't know. Joe Biden and leaders in foreign customs. Biden has joined in various rituals such as bowing or participating in tea ceremonies during Asia visits. See, I mean, that's kind of similar, right? You know, very, that's kind of along the lines of what I'm talking about, you know, right here. Now, it's not weird. I wouldn't consider that weird because, you know, I mean, obviously, Asia, they don't have you do super duper weird stuff a lot of the time, but you see what I'm saying. Like, John Podesta, Clinton Orbit's spirit cooking, 2016 gained notoriety via leaked emails involving artist Marina I don't know who that is. Abramovic performance art dinner with symbolic occult-themed elements. Now, that's way weird. Oh, spirit cooking. I've heard of this. Instructions using bodily fluids in art. Gross. Though there was okay, so this is actually freaking crazy. 2016. Okay, that one's insane. That's actually more insane than any of that. So, I mean, you know, politicians go out and do weird stuff a lot of the time. You know what I mean? To appease the foreign people and be like, hey, you know, we're trying to understand you. You know what I mean? I don't find it to be too weird. I really don't. If you look at any of our other allies, like Japan, they don't have you do weird things very often. Not particularly weird. China may. I don't know that they have a weird thing, do they? But a lot of our allies are pretty normal. Israel is obviously very, very, very religious. You know what I mean? What ally of ours is very religious that's not Israel? You know what I mean? So, but I mean, they're putting notes in a prayer wall. Billions of U.S. taxpayer money is sent to Israel. Yeah, but there's also a lot of taxpayer money that goes to Palestine. Like, how much taxpayer money goes to Palestine from the U.S.? I mean, it's a lot of money. United States provides foreign assistance, funded taxpayer dollars to the Palestine territories, primarily the West Bank and Gaza, through bilateral programs, mainly via USAID as well, and departments of state, UNRWA, the UN agency, all that good stuff. So, according to the United States Official Foreign Assets Dashboard, all this stuff, we give them almost $1 billion, just for 2025 alone. Nobody likes to talk about that, though. So I guess we completely and totally fund Hamas. No one has a problem with that. Kind of find that weird. See what I mean? Like, for every argument that a Groyper essentially kind of makes, Palestinians are literally starving. You are a joke. LOL. Okay. So you're okay with us sending money to them, but not Israel. Right? You can say you're a hypocrite. That's fine. There are many other places we fund. Is there any other place? What place do you think we don't fund? Because we probably fund it. We literally fund almost the entire world. We send a lot of money to China. They have Uyghur Muslim concentration camps. We send billions of dollars to China. We send millions of dollars to Pakistan. Like, how much money does the U.S. send to Pakistan? Oh, I put that instead. Fiscal year 2024, the latest completed year for Pakistan was $169 million. They have the biggest open-air prison in the entire world, Balochistan. 10 times the size of Gaza. No one has anything to say about that. Are the Pakistani people starving? Well, the Balochistani people are starving. But we sent this to Pakistan. The country that's over Balochistan. American Green Beret Anthony Gwiller spent an entire month in Gaza last summer. When he came back, he said the IDF shoots unarmed civilians and saw no armed Palestinians at all. Oh, okay. One guy said that. How many people in the IDF said that? How many other American soldiers have also said that? Okay. So there you go. So you're telling me Hamas doesn't exist at all. Hamas is just fake. You do have proof to back that, right? Do you see what I mean by you are completely captured by your own ideology? You understand that, right? Like, I need evidence of this stuff. So it's funny whenever you all tell me, you're like, oh, look, the United States is funding Israel. And then it's like, okay, well, they're also funding Palestine. Oh, well, that's different. Okay, sure. I guess it's different somehow. Doubt it. It's really not. Then we send it to the biggest, we pay for the biggest genocide and open-air prison in the entire world through Pakistan. You got nothing to say about that. One guy explained why no journalists are allowed to access Gaza. Because they're blowing it up. A lot of it. But nobody's allowed? Are you kidding me? I've seen recent, okay. Are journalists allowed in Gaza? They actually are, but okay. Let's see. Let's see if they are banned. No independent foreign international journalists are not currently allowed to enter Gaza freely as of February of 2026. Okay. Wait, when did the ban persist despite a ceasefire in effect since late 2025? They were allowed to go in there most of 2025 when everybody was still pro-Palestine. They were in there all 2024. They were in there all of 2023. They just recently banned them from being able to go in there. So that's the proof? For real? It's crazy. So it literally didn't start until late 20... What month? When exactly did they ban foreign journalists? Now, here's the thing, too. It's not like they don't have internet there, right? I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I'll see if they have internet. The ban on independent foreign journalists was imposed by Israel at the very start of Hamas war, specifically or immediately on October 2023. Why did this just give me a different answer? Hold on. In the initial weeks and months, very limited number of journalists were allowed to enter, only under strict Israeli military escort. Okay, cool. But not unrestricted independent access has been prohibited. But unrestricted independent access has been prohibited throughout. This has remained in effect for over 2 years as of February 2026, even after the ceasefire took fire in late 2025. Why did this just tell me up here that freely, as of early February 2026, of course. Let's see. A policy in place since the start of Israel. Oh, it did say it here. The ban persists despite... Oh, I see. I misread it. Okay, never mind. No, I misread. So they have not been allowed to be there. But I've seen a lot of journalism coming out of there. So how's that possible? So, hold on. The Israeli Supreme Court has repeatedly delayed rulings on petitions first filed around early 2024. Oh, early 2024. Duh. I was like, why'd they wait a year? That makes sense. With a major one in September 2024, seeking to lift it. Okay. Gotcha. It's probably because they're fighting an active war, though. Is it normal for journalists to be allowed to go into war zones? I know there are war zones like that, but I'm sure that there's almost always. It's generally normal and has been a long-standing practice for journalists to have some level of access to war zones, though that access is almost always restricted, controlled, or conditional rather than completely free and independent. So, I don't understand. Seems consistent, right? Seems pretty consistent. Now, you said they'd never been allowed there, but they did indeed allow it based on escorts. Does seem to me that the norm is to have that, which is why you almost always see people in full military gear, and they're with the military when they're doing journalism. You know? In major conflicts, journalists have been allowed in, but under stricter conditions. World War II, journalists often embedded with Allied forces, had press camps set up, and enjoyed relatively broad, though not unrestricted, frontline access. Understandable in World War II, pretty new territory. Vietnam War. The U.S. military provided unprecedented access, allowing reporters to travel freely, to use military transport, and sometimes detach from escorts for independent views. This led to critical coverage that influenced public opinion. Iraq 2003 invasion in Afghanistan. The U.S. coalition forces used large-scale embedded journalism programs where hundreds of reporters were attached to units, vetted, and had movements controlled for safety and security reasons. Independent access to active combat areas was limited, but reporting from the field was possible. Ukraine. Journalists can access many areas, including near front lines, often with military escort or accreditation from Ukrainian authorities. Independent reporting from both sides has occurred, though risks are high. Okay. Seems pretty common to have some sort of restrictions, right? It's not completely how would I put it? What was I just going to say? I lost my train of thought. It's not completely unrestricted. I didn't really want to say unrestricted, though. That's not the word I was looking for. It's not inconsistent, is what I'm saying, to restrict access. Now, as for Israel and Hamas, the difference between them and the rest is they're like this close. So there's not really much front lines to access. In fact, I would dare to say that there is no front line on the Hamas-Israeli war. So where would journalists go? No matter what, they would pretty much be too close. Kind of have to stay in Israel. And as for Palestine not being an ally, well, there's that. Now, Palestine is allies with, wait, hold on. Let's see here. Does Palestine allow any other foreign journalists. I'm kind of curious about this, because wouldn't there be, like, some Russia reporting? And aren't they, like, allies with Russia? How do they keep Russia out? How do they keep China out? How do they keep Russia and China out? Just curious about that. Are any other foreign journalists from entering their blanket of policy applied to all international media? The restriction is not targeted for Russia and China. How in the world do they keep those countries out? I'm surprised they don't actually try something. I guess it kind of goes to show their weakness. You know, I mean, they're not doing anything for Iran. They just kind of abandoned that, which is hilarious. So, you know, paper tigers. There's never been a war in Gaza and the West Bank. I mean, maybe. You know. But anyway, I don't know. It's not, so the problem is it's not unheard of. If it were more unheard of, if there was a lot more independent journalism going on in other war zones, and they were all free, and then there was like nothing, like in the just pure restriction in Gaza, and absolutely no military escorts or anything from anyone, I would tend to believe you. But the fact of the matter is looking what's in front of my face, unfortunately, it's consistent. So, and not to mention, look at what happened with Greta Thunberg. Like, no one took her cameras away. Nobody did anything like that. You know what I mean? She just sat there in her boat, you know? So, there's that. I wouldn't say for any reason that they are acting inconsistent. Now, if this goes on for, I don't know. Like, let's say if they took away all escorted journalistic, I wanted to say adventures, but that's not quite right, is it? You know, if they took away every single ounce of possible journalism that could possibly take place there, period, I'd question it a lot more. The fact that they do escort, you know, I almost said escort missions, but I get, you could call it an escort mission, right? Then, you know, I would probably, I'd probably be more on your side about it, you know. At the end of the day, I just need proof. Oh, I'm a Zionist supporter. Okay. Because I need proof. Right. Gotcha. You know. Look, all I want you to do is just show me the inconsistencies. Palestine never had a country. If you go back in history, it's called investigation. Wait, is it really? What? What? Is that a... Wait, what? I've never heard that one. Well, yeah, I mean, who's going to actually admit to it? Well, nobody's going to admit to it. That'd be silly, you know. Oh, I guess that's not true. I guess Germany was pretty forward. I think Germany was actually pretty forward on it. So you got to give them credit for that one. Okay. According to the world, you know how technology works and intel services operate. Well, I mean, proof, right? Like, I can't just take people's word for things. You got to understand. When I look at this stuff, I have to have some really concrete evidence in front of me. When it comes down to opinion, what do you want me to do with that? Show me one single footage from an international journalist with real combat from that war? Okay. Yeah, I should be able to do that. Footage from Gaza.
This is the first drone footage CNN has taken in Gaza since November 5th, 2020. The United Nations...
So this isn't in Palestine, right? On single footage, that took me 5 seconds. I pulled this up so fast that it's probably still not there in the stream. Isn't that crazy? I'm guessing that this is certainly, though, not in Gaza. Did you want more than one single footage? Are you going to want multiple now? Because I can pull up multiple. This was literally when they were all coming back to Gaza. This was right before the ceasefire. Oh, yeah, they do. Journalists do get around to ceasefire. I mean, have you all seen the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats? Hilarious movie that makes fun of, oh, wait. So you want me to show combat footage. Okay. Gaza, let's see. Explosion. Let's just do this. High-rise building in Gaza crumbles after an Israeli airstrike. That was 2 years ago. Okay. This was right after, Could do that. I'd say that's combat. Is a Israeli airstrike not combat? Is it not combat? Okay, so explosions don't count. Okay, let's just go to guns. From Gaza, shooting. All right. Video shows shooting at a crowded Gaza food collection site. Okay, that was 6 months ago. There you go. Literally in Gaza, July of 2025. Okay. But I'm going to guess shootings aren't going to count. So let's see. Drone footage shows Gaza before and after Israeli military operation. That's not quite it. Hamas releases footage of ambush that ended 2 Israeli soldiers in Gaza. Okay. Does this count? This is combat. This is released. All right. I'm not going to play the whole thing, obviously. Crazy. Can't show that on YouTube, bud. Oh, this doesn't count as combat either? Okay, all right. Gaza paramedics killed. New video shows Israeli soldiers shooting dead 15 emergency workers. Okay. Why'd they do that? How'd they get this footage?
And its answers.
To help the wounded near Rafah.
So, Israeli soldiers shooting dead 15 emergency workers in Gaza. What was this? Newly released mobile phone footage shows the moment Israeli soldiers opened fire on a convoy of ambulances in Gaza, killing 15 rescue workers. The video contradicts the Israeli Defense Force account of incident. Okay. Claimed the vehicles have been traveling without headlights or emergency flashing lights and appeared to be a threat. I don't know.
Israel's military first said this convoy advanced suspiciously to Oliver, buried along with already in question.
Wait. Let's see the footage.
With the lights switched off. But you can see, these are marked vehicles and they're wearing reflective uniforms. Then, without warning, this. The shooting continues.
Okay. So, Israel claimed a number of Hamas and Islamic Jihad militants had been ended in the shooting, but has not provided evidence. Okay, well, they should probably provide evidence for that. But I thought you said this stuff didn't exist. Drone footage over Gaza shows extent of destruction following Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal. Oh, yeah, they did show this. That's right. This was not that long ago where they showed Hamas and Israel shooting at each other. Literally. This was just like months ago. Hold on. 3 months ago. Yeah, I remember this video. You said this didn't exist. What the heck? Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Let me just type in Hamas IDF shooting. Let's just see here. Because I remember seeing this. IDF releases footage of tank firing at Hamas leader. Okay, that's not it. Israeli forces into Palestinians who appear to be surrendering. They have no idea. I'm not going to put anything online that's going to show any bullets actually entering someone. IDF tracked kills top Hamas terrorist who led. Okay. IDF kills Hamas sniper on cam. Okay, but that's with missiles. That can't count, right? Can't possibly count. Oh, are none of these good enough? You said combat between the armed sides. Okay. Intense combat footage shows Hamas ambushing IDF. Okay. Does this count? I'm going to ask you before you say anything. Is this going to count? Does this count? I'm going to have to fast forward and make sure I don't see actually any bullets flying into people. So, this doesn't count though, right? Is this going to be good enough? Because I've seen a lot of footage come out of there. Okay, so it has to be a third-party journalist in the middle of them fighting? Are you kidding me? So we've already established that since 2003, that they didn't allow journalists to go with them to combat zones. Oh, it's theater footage. Do you have proof of that? And why wouldn't they just get a journalist to hold the camera and be theater? See, that's the next place you would go to. Theater does not count. Okay, so you're just retarded. Gotcha. So no matter how much footage I can actually show you, you're going to keep moving the goalpost all the way down to it has to be this specific person doing it when they have that specifically banned and have had that banned since 2003. Okay, but prove it's theater. Can you prove it's theater? Can you prove any of this is theater at all? Like, what makes you say it's fake?
Brought under control. Gathered. While these
Intense combat footage shows Hamas. Okay, who took the footage? Since a temporary ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas broke down in mid-March, intense fighting has resumed in the Gaza Strip. Both the IDF and military wings of Hamas have posted steady stream of videos showing their fighters in combat. While these clips are hard to independently verify, they do give us a unique perspective of the conflict on the ground. Here we gathered some of that combat footage from the past 2 months. More than 19 months after Israel launched its ground campaign in Gaza, there are parts of the Strip it hasn't brought under control. Fighting near the southern city of Rafah has been particularly fierce. Okay. These highly edited clips show 2 separate ambushes on Israeli troop east of the city, which it claims killed and wounded several IDF soldiers. Okay. All right, and then Hamas posted video, all that good stuff. So why does it have to be specifically somebody who's actually banned and has been banned to do it? Yes, because no journal film this. Okay. Journalist films front lines combat in Iraq. Does that exist? Does it actually exist? Battle of Fallujah, frontline footage, War of Iraq, deadliest urban combat. Okay. Was this, who released this footage? Looks like the same warning. That's interesting. Was it IT and archive? Interesting. Okay. I got a question, though. Was all the stuff in Iraq fake as well? Okay, can you prove that Hamas is Mossad, though? Can you prove that? Like, I'm going to ask you for proof. Again, can you prove that Hamas is indeed the IDF or Mossad? Can you do that for me? Please? Do I have to ask please? All right. Footage of combat in... AP reporter documents Israeli army taking journalists into a tunnel in city in Gaza. Moment Israeli forces shot dead, surrendered Palestinians. Okay. And,
footage has emerged on
does this count at all?
Thursday evening from Jenin, which is a frequent flashpoint between Israeli forces and various Palestinian groups.
Okay. Video shows Israeli forces. Who shot this video? The Guardian publishes independent journalism made possible. Okay, this looks like independent journalism. I lost, though. You can't prove it. I never read an admission by BB. I already went over that, and he said that he ended up doing what he had done for a different reason. So which one am I supposed to believe? See, the problem is you forgot about that part, and that's the problem with what a lot of groypers do, is they'll twist words badly to fit exactly what they want it to fit. Now, here's an independent journalist.
You can see the events showing their unarmed control of them in the store, shot by the border officers who for both the...
So is this fake? No, that's not what he said. He said he literally was providing aid to Palestine. That's what BB said. I can pull it right back up pretty easy because this Grok has this awesome history part. Let's see. Let's see. Charlie Kirk. Wait, which one did I ask it on? Tattoo, Kevin Rudd, number of photos, politician. Let me see. BB. Not Bobo, BB. What the heck? Where did it go? Okay, let me just ask. Why did BB fund Palestine? Oh, okay, whatever. Why did BB fund Palestine? Okay. Okay, so The policy allowing funds, specifically from Qatar, to enter the Gaza Strip was intended to maintain a separation between Hamas in Gaza and Palestine Authority in the West Bank. The strategic rationale, often described as divide and rule approach, was designed to keep Palestinian leadership divided, thereby preventing a formation of a unified Palestine state. Here is the primary reasons for this policy. Now, what was it that Bibi actually said? Because this is what the thing said. No, I want to see in his own words what he said. So, yep, don't give me a freaking quote. This is why I hate relying on this. Okay, key reasons. I don't care about the key reasons. I want actually what he said. And it says right here, paraphrase context. I don't want paraphrased. I got the full quote on Grok, but I'm going to have to try and find it. No, it's not going to be that soon. Never mind. It was one of the first things I looked up. Did I, oh, no. That's the photo. Hamas presence, here we go. Did Bibi Netanyahu, okay, right here. So, March 2019, Netanyahu explicitly told Likud party members, anyone who wants to thwart the establishment of the Palestinian state has to support bolstering Hamas and transferring money to Hamas. This is part of our strategy to isolate the Palestinians in Gaza from the Palestinians in the West Bank. Netanyahu has denied, right here, Netanyahu has denied that Israel strategically propped up Hamas, instead claiming the transfers were approved for humanitarian purposes to prevent a collapse in Gaza. That's what Netanyahu said, okay? Now, in March of 2019, they said Netanyahu explicitly told Likud party members, anyone who wants to thwart the establishment here, okay? But then it says down here, Netanyahu has denied Israel strategically propped up Hamas. So which one is actually correct? Okay? Which one was correct? Now, critics, including former Israeli officials, argue that these funds strengthened Hamas militarily and contributed to events like October 7th attacks. This is the bad thing about AI, is it combines too much crap. Oh, checkmate. Right, because you're not paying attention to when I talk. Okay, gotcha. Okay, all right. This is absolutely retarded. So, let's not do at all AI. Okay. Let's see here. Times of Israel. For years, Netanyahu propped up Hamas. Now it's blown up in our faces. Let's read this. For years, the various governments led by Benjamin Netanyahu took an approach that divided power between Gaza Strip and the West Bank, bringing Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to his knees while making that propped up. Are they going to get to quotes, though? That's what I want to question. Because I want to hear Netanyahu actually literally say it. The idea was to prevent Abbas or anyone else in the Palestinian Authority West Bank government from advancing towards the establishment of a Palestinian state. Thus, amid this bid to impair Abbas, Hamas was upgraded from a mere terror group to an organization with which Israel held indirect negotiations via Egypt, and one of those was allowed to receive infusions cash from abroad. Hamas was also included in discussions about increasing the number of work permits Israel granted. Are they going to get to quotes, though? Okay, so we know what happened, but what was the intent? Meanwhile, Israel allowed suitcases holding millions in Qatari cash to enter Gaza through its crossing since 2018 in order to maintain its fragile ceasefire with Hamas rulers of the Strip. Okay. That kind of changes context, doesn't it? Okay. Most of the time, Israeli policy was to treat Palestinian Authority as a burden and Hamas as an asset. Far-right MK Bezet, whatever that name is, I'm not saying that name. Now the finance minister in the hardline government and leader of religious Zionism party, said so himself in 2015. According to various reports, Netanyahu made a similar post as the whatever faction meeting in early 2019 when he was quoted saying that those who oppose Palestinian state should support the transfer in funds to Gaza because maintaining the separation between Palestinian Authority in the West Bank and Hamas Gaza would prevent the establishment of a Palestinian state. While Netanyahu does not make these kinds of statements publicly or officially, his words are in line with the policy he implemented. So they interpreted. You understand that, right? They interpreted his actions to mean this. So what Netanyahu said, and let's see if he did, if it says it here. I don't see any quotations. Okay. What did Netanyahu officially say about funding Hamas? Okay. Can they ever put a damn quote anywhere? at all. Okay. Why do they bullet point it? Show me the full quote. I want to hear what he said, not key points. Okay. It was reported by attendees and Israeli journalists at the time. So maybe. Okay. This is literally the other. Okay, whatever. Anyone who wants to thwart the establishment of Palestinian. Okay. I want to know who. Okay. Reportedly said. You see, this is the thing. Reportedly stated by Benjamin Netanyahu at a faction meeting. You see what I'm saying? Now, when he comes out and says that he did it for a different reason, when Netanyahu comes out and says he has denied this, that Israel strategically propped up Hamas, and instead claiming that the transfers were approved for humanitarian purposes to prevent a collapse in Gaza, which one has proof behind it? Okay, so you're saying AI made that part up. Okay. Let's see. Times of Israel. Send me a link where BB denied this. Okay. Oh, right. It won't do it. God dang it. I hate Grok. Okay. I'll just have to see, like, where are they citing this? Like, right here. Times of Israel. 10 years ago. Okay, I'm just going to have to pull them both open and... Okay, this one we opened up. Well, I'll open it up again anyway. Deny? Okay. There we go. Already in its rage. Let's see this. This means Israel should be at war with Hamas alone, people of Gaza, and yet imprisoning near total blockade territory, denying 2 million citizens food. Okay. Well, we know that they do that. Probably. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for, though. Just BB. Oh, it doesn't even mention BB in the article. That's awesome. Waste of time. BB. Dang it. Okay. Is to blame for leasing. Okay, so this person's just blaming him. I want a quote from him. Okay, Hamas strengthened has been Bibi Netanyahu. If we look over it for the last years, one of the main people contributing to Hamas's strengthening has Bibi Netanyahu since his first term. Okay. Bibi has dispatched Mossad chief Yossi Cohen, the IDF's officer in charge of Gaza. It's not in that one. But are you saying that they are for sure lying? That he never, ever said any of this? Okay. Deny. Wait, I should not have closed out of that last one. Damn it. This one. Right. Oh, wait, no, this is the... No. Deny. Yep, this is the one I already clicked. Okay, so it's not that one. It's one of these two. Okay. Deny. Biden. Okay. Okay, not that one. Deny. Okay. All right. I wish I could ask this more. I really do. BB and Yahoo denies funding Hamas. I'll put it this way. Netanyahu's constantly denied allegations. Okay, Netanyahu funded Hamas claim. Okay, Times of Israel. In recent years, single accusation deliberately, Netanyahu funded Hamas. Okay. Did not directly fund Hamas. He gave Israeli approval for Qatari money to enter the Gaza Strip. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's just a fact, too. It's not even Israeli money. You realize that, right? That's one fact I overlooked. It's not even Israeli money. It was Qatar. They allowed Qatar to do that. Let me guess. Qatar is also Mossad, right? I'm going to guess that's what you're going to say. Okay. Well, Hamas governed it. Money that is inevitably ended up under Hamas's control. Yeah, it's probably a really stupid idea. Okay. Of what actually happened, when the policy began, and what it originally was. The first point usually omitted from claims is the BB funded Hamas is timing. The policy allows funds to enter Gaza Strip did not begin under Netanyahu. It was already in place before he returned to office. Well, before, I don't care, you know. In 2008, under the government of, I don't care that it was, okay. I don't care when it was established. That's meaningless to me. I want to know what he said his intention was. By the time Qatari funding mechanism was formalized in 2018, what did he say about it? All right, let's just deny. No, what the heck? I don't want to add a bookmark. How does that add bookmark by me going and doing that? Okay, deny. Bibi. Okay. The one reason the slogan "Bibi funded Hamas" gained traction among his political... Oh, well, we know, because the money went to Hamas. Persistent slogan "Bibi Hamas." Okay. I don't think this is going to be a good one. It's not going to actually show. It's just a guy defending him. I don't want that. I want him saying it. Qatar sent millions to Gaza for years with Israel's backing. Okay. But here's the thing, though. When you say that Bibi was supporting, or that Israel was funding Hamas, we found out that that's actually not true. It's Israeli. Qatari PM talked to Tucker and said that the U.S. and Israel wanted that. Nobody can. Okay, so yeah. So Israel also owns Qatar, right? Okay, sure. Proof, though? Proof. So is this also, is Qatari money actually also shekels? Do they use shekels in Qatar? Okay. You do realize Bibi didn't lie about the WMDs in Iraq, right? You know how I know he didn't? you want me to show you how? When did Bibi become prime minister? Let's see. First became prime minister of June 18, 1996. He had served multiple non-consecutive terms, 96-99, 2009 to 2021. Okay. All right. So, who claimed there were WMDs in Iraq? Oh, oops. Iraq. Was it Bibi? Let's see. It was Colin Powell. Okay. George Bush. Tony Blair. Okay. Did Bibi claim Iraq had WMDs? Let's see. He did claim that Iraq was in possession of weapons of mass destruction and was actively developing nuclear weapons prior to 2003 U.S. invasion. Okay. So he did say it, but he wasn't even like anybody at that point in time. You know what I mean? He had no influence. Who did he tell this to? He had a congressional testimony in September 2022. Okay. He appearing as a private citizen before the U.S. All right. I would never go off of Bibi Netanyahu's word alone. You think he's the one who set up with this? All right, you're just fucking retarded. I'm done arguing. Every single time I prove you wrong, you end up you don't answer a single question of mine. You end up claiming that Israel is literally in control. I mean, what's even the point in having a war in the Middle East at this point? Apparently they own it all. But I'm done talking with people who literally can't get their shit in a row. I've asked you for proof. You failed to give proof. So you're just gone. Now, you want to change my mind? Maybe next time, do what I ask and give me proof. But at the end of the day, literally listening to him do any kind of, like, weapons of mass destruction 2020 or 2002? September 2002. We went in 2003, right? When did we invade Iraq? It was March of 2003. That's right. So, who was the person who pushed who convinced the U.S. to invade Iraq? Who was it? Ahmed Kalabi, an Iraq exile and leader of Iraq National Congress. He was instrumental in convincing the U.S. government to invade. Okay. Did Bibi Netanyahu convince the U.S. to invade Iraq? Benjamin Netanyahu was vocal and a public advocate for the 2003 invasion of Iraq, actively lobbying American officials and testifying before Congress to encourage the move. While he did not unilaterally convince the U.S. to invade, as the Bush administration had its own established agenda for the war, his testimony helped build... Okay. How did Israel aid us in Iraq? Israel provided significant, mostly behind-the-scenes assistance to the United States during conflicts in Iraq, focusing heavily on intelligence. Oh, okay. Funny how that works, isn't it? Seems like Israel was not the ones behind it. They were just interested in something. Kind of crazy how that works. It's kind of like if Russia wanted to invade Japan. Who do you think they're going to look towards for intel? Probably going to look towards China, right? If China goes to invade Japan, they're probably going to look towards North Korea for intel. Know what I mean? Kind of how it works, right? When you go to war, you're probably going to ask your closest ally for intelligence, aren't you? It's unusually crazy how that works. Give me something that's out of the ordinary, and I will be on your side. But anyway, yeah, I'm sick and tired of really dumb people coming in here going, oh, I have nuance. I have nuance, and I'm going to use that as 100% proof. And it's just like, just actually prove something. I've managed to find journalistic coverage of Gaza, though it's heavily limited, just like Iraq was heavily limited, just like almost every other war after Vietnam was heavily limited when it came to journalism. Does that mean Israel? No. Does that mean corruption? Could be. Could be corruption. Does that mean Israel's innocent? No, of course not. But of course, I'm a Zionist, so why would I say something so awful about Israel? That they could even possibly do something evil. It's amazing how leftist these groypers act. It's incredible. All I want is proof. But I'm a Zionist because I want proof. Instead, they want theories. And then every single time I proved them wrong on AI, it was crazy. Hamas isn't in the West Bank. And it turns out they're in the West Bank. It's like, oh, okay. There's no footage of the war at all. Oh, we're going to do it. It needs to be from a third-party journalist. Why? Why does it need to be a third-party journalist? Because that footage is fake you showed. Okay, can you prove it's fake? No, I can't. Oh, okay. Crazy. But I'm going to demand that you admit that it's fake footage, because why not? Didn't look very fake to me. There's even journalist footage of what looks like wrongdoing from Israel. Could be a lot of wrongdoing from Israel. But it's footage that existed that you said was impossible to exist. It's crazy. But the problem is there's not a lot of context. Did the men surrender? Did somebody pull a weapon from inside the garage? I don't know. I have no idea. Probably not. Could just be a bunch of garbage soldiers. You ever heard about the stuff the United States did in Iraq? The pillaging? That was reported by Edward Snowden, wasn't it? Or was it Edward Snowden? Or who's the one that it was reported by that's in prison now? Because they leaked a bunch of information they shouldn't have too. So, Buzzy, so far with the evidence that's come out, sorry, I know it's late. It's like a 55% chance for me, 45% chance that he is gone, but it's not looking good that Epstein's gone. You know? Just understand that everything Paul said was a lie or misrepresentation. I mean, to a degree. Not everything he said was a lie. That's how it works for the most part. People give partial truths and then fluff it up. They'll take a detail that's true, and then they'll add so much around it. You know what I mean? And it's finding what's true versus what's false. You know what I mean? That's the trick. Candace does this a lot. Every episode, Candace speaks the truth. It's just fluffed up with a bunch of lies. She does both. And that's why she's convincing to a lot of people. Yeah, the WikiLeaks guy. That's who I'm talking about. All those crazy, like, pillaging and stuff that a lot of our military guys were doing. That came out. But apparently that was probably... I bet he would blame Israel for that and wouldn't blame our own soldiers. Guys, soldiers do evil stuff. Who do you think joins the military? You think it's all our best and brightest? Absolutely not. Every one of you guys, and nobody thinks about this. Everyone always thinks the United States military as, like, you know, the bold, the strong, the brave. When every one of you guys know that there's a lot of people from high school that you all went to high school with that were supposed to be felons that ended up getting their saving grace from the military, and the military put them in line. Now, a lot of those guys turned out to be great. I know a lot of guys that would have ended up in prison that turned out to be the best citizens because they joined the military. I also know a lot of people who got kicked out of the military for doing really messed up stuff. So, you know, there's that. But anyway, I got to get off here, guys. I've been on here for a long, long time trying to argue silly stuff, but I had fun. You know, there's that. It's been a while since I've had one of these situations. I'm going to try not next time, because this was kind of more of a chill stream. I'm not going to be doing so much arguing next time. But yeah, thank you all so much for being here, though. I genuinely had a lot of fun with you guys. Y'all are amazing. And yeah, I gotta help out with this quickly. I'll see you guys here in the next one. Later. Oh, Paramount Tactical, tomorrow, 7 p.m. I will be on there. So, anyway, later.